8. Okay. It's hard to believe when there's 500 that you could get an 8, but there it is. Don't have to scroll very far for this one. All right, this is in the adventuring category. Have you ever had a rival? What was your rivalry about, and how did it resolve? If not, do you want a rival? Do you have someone in mind? Oh man, that's like a love confession note in a way. All right, while you guys ruminate on that question, would anybody for a third hero point and a third hero card draw like to sum up what happened last week? And while you're thinking about that and rolling dice to declare your interest, I did want to address some scheduling stuff. So, this adventure, it was advertised to run, I don't know, a while, a year and a half, question mark, a year to a year and a half. Being the first time I've run Pathfinder, I didn't know for sure. I did go off of like stuff I read online and things that Parsus said and things like that. I feel like we're at a good pace for the adventure. I know that this adventure could definitely have been run faster than it was. We are approaching the end of the game, but unfortunately, we are also approaching the holiday season. Nothing is sadder to me than joining a campaign, a paid campaign, showing up every week, paying your dues, working hard, building a character, and then we run the final session without you. The nature of the final arc of the campaign makes it very difficult to definitively know what the last session is going to be. So as we enter that final arc, it does put me in a position where I don't know exactly which session will be the last session. I know for a fact today will not be the last session. And depending on how today goes, pretty confident that next week would not be the last session. But from that point on, I don't know when the last session will actually occur, because it can really like sneak up on you the way this is done. I'm going to do it week by week and play by play. We don't have a Josh next week, but I'm very confident next week will not be the last session. So we will play without Josh unless somebody else drops a bomb on me that they're not available November 30th to play this game. Because then we'll be down 2 people, and then, that's kind of bad. Saturday, December 7th. I won't know for sure. But if I feel like it's going to be okay, we'll run it without Scarlet. If I'm unsure whether or not it will be the end of the campaign, then I'll cancel because I don't want to run it without everybody here. That rolls us into the meatier parts of December. You got the 14th, which I think is fine. I don't feel like Christmas should be allowed to have December 14th. December 21st is getting a little bit closer to Christmas time. It's the Saturday. People might be traveling. If you are not available for these days, you need to let me know like sooner than later, so that we can sort of figure something out. The 28th, Christmas is long gone. You shouldn't be thinking about it anymore, but maybe you're traveling home. Again, let me know what's going on. Then we get into January 4th, you should have put all of last year behind you. You should have recovered from your alcoholism. You should be ready to go. The 11th, nothing's happening. Just show up for the game. Here's the thing. As of the 13th of January, I was intending to start Stolen Fate, and I need 3 of the players from this game to do that. If you guys haven't finished this campaign by then, I will end up pushing the start of Stolen Fate back to compensate for this game, I don't want to say running over, but going longer than I anticipated. So that's sort of like your update on the schedule for the game. I know people ask a lot, like, hey, I was thinking about signing up for this other game. When is this game going to be over? I wish I was better at knowing when games are going to end. I don't run a strict, like, scripted game. I hope you guys realize that by now. So if collectively the group gets off track, or collectively the group spawns chaos or additional story beats, we just sort of like follow those things. I don't just like cut them off and say, yeah, back to the written adventure. So it does make it harder to know exactly when the adventure is going to end. But please keep that stuff in mind, those schedules in those days, and like be honest about your ability to make it to the games. Like, definitely at this time of year, with these being the final sessions, don't like think that you're gonna be able to make it, and then you can't, and then we end up canceling like the final session like 5 minutes after it should have started, because other people are canceling holiday plans or turning down holiday plans to accommodate like this game, and then if you are the one that like causes the last minute cancellation, you're a real scumbag. So just kind of keep that in mind. So it's always better to be a scumbag up front than a scumbag last minute. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, great. Now that we got all that out of the way, toss a little Catholic guilt in there at the end. Does anybody want to give me that recap? Nobody. Son of a bitch. Bellanora with a 3. All right, I'll take it. Bella, what happened last time?
It was a pretty simple session. We started off in combat with the zombie swarms. Mm-hmm. After clearing off that one, we went a little north in the complex of the Tin Moon Hydra Forge, where we are searching for Zenny's brother, Parsus? I think it's Parsus. We opened another door. More zombies did ensue. And then, at the same time, from the ceiling emerged a Clockwork puppeteer zombie thing, and it was terrifying. And it was, quote, the most dangerous thing we have fought except for the kaiju. It had us all in its grasp. We were all dangling about, restrained. I was struggling to even pull my bombs out of my holster. It was a rough time. Everyone has been pushed to the brink of death. And right there in the last minute, through amazing team cooperation, getting Mother Ketrin up on a scissor lift up to the fight so that she could heal everyone and like keep us all going, I was able to, knowing I couldn't hit the Clockwork, or not knowing the risk was too great, I detonated my bombs on myself, which allowed me to kill it with its splash damage. Then we are now in a situation where we're still all kind of tangled up in this thing, and we're not in great shape, but all we have left is the last zombie swarm in the room, and then hopefully we can, patch ourselves up and find Parsus.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead and take your third hero point, your third hero card. Draw. Everybody else, discard your hero cards from last week. Draw new hero cards. And then, would someone like to answer this question for a D3 that can be added to a D20 roll? I'm thinking to really incentivize? I don't know if that's an English word. Make good these faxpirations. I'm thinking about allowing them to ignore the fortune tag. You know what I'm saying? Like you could any D20 roll on Earth, even a wild surge check, you could add this D3 to it.
So good.
Ooh, hachi machi. All right, hey, Walter coming in with a 6. That's twice as high as second place tiebreaker. If these are the rolls for today, have you guys considered a roleplay session? I'm saying maybe we could just talk it out, you know. But wait, it's Pathfinder. They'll still make you roll on the talking it out. All right, Walter, answer the question. Do you have a rival, and why is it Gary Oak? The rival part is the Gary Oak part, isn't it? You might be muted. I don't know. Oh wait, his mic died. All right, in that case, we're gonna have to go for a roll-off between Zenny and Bellanora.
I walked away to get coffee, so Zenny wins by default.
All right, and also some mic issues. This is gonna be a good session. I could tell. I could feel it in my nuggets. All right.
By forfeit. I did.
Because everyone else had technical issues. Zenny, you win.
I rolled a 2.
Well, yours was a skill issue, I guess. So. All right, because in this game, rolling dice is a skill, apparently. All right, Zenny, who's your rival, or who was your rival?
Well, there was this brother of mine called Parsus, you know?
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys, if I've mentioned him or if you heard about him. Yeah, like growing up, we were all like getting ready for ascension in the family. If you don't ascend, then you get chucked in the, carrion pile with the rest of the failures. So there's a lot of pressure to succeed.
Yeah.
A
lot of problematic elements there.
Yeah. Parsus was always on the path to being an ascendant, whereas Ernie, not so much. So there was a lot of bitterness at times, and obviously Parsus kindest, so he would not be nice about that whole situation, instead mock.
Oh, dang. All right, so it never actually got to resolve then? So this is unresolved?
Oh yeah.
Okay, maybe there'll be an opportunity sometime in the campaign well, we'll see.
Seems pretty unlikely. Probably Teddy will die before we beat him.
All right. So let's see. You may ask the same question of any NPC or any willing PC. I will throw this Faxpiration out and apply it to you.
It would be really funny to ask it of Parsus, but we haven't met him, so he's not technically an NPC yet.
It's all meta stuff, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess you've met him, and so let's just, yeah. Well, you did meet him, because he talked to you on the PA.
Oh, true, that weird voice on the PA.
Yeah.
All right. Just ask him so that I get it via the more imaginative question answer.
Okay, so let's see. Parsus, does he have a rival? Here, I'll throw up his character.
Just be like, no.
Let's see. As a child, your abusive father, who practiced eugenics by having Dampier children with a variety of hot humanoid wives, but then, essentially pitted them against each other in like a Squid Game style home life to prove who is the strongest, smartest, and most deserving of rise in power. He acknowledged that the situation did render you guys as rivals. He was always trying to convince you guys that if you work together, and then there's a cut scene of all of you as like little kids, not like Rugrats, but like 8, 9, 10-year-olds or whatever, where he tries to convince all of you that if you work together, you could murder your father. But sadly, he never got any of those ideas off the ground. I guess if he felt like he had a meaningful rival, If he could have any rival he wanted, he would have probably wanted Jericho Darling, that's not her name in the backstory, but the character who went on to become Jericho Darling, the terrorist who died in the bombing in Geb. I think he would have wanted her as a rival in so much as she's an inventor and he's an inventor, and they're both into like clockwork machinery and stuff like that. Barring that, maybe like he views his father as a rival in so much as like his father has made his life miserable and been like the major motivation for him to get strong, not to gain his father's approval, but to someday go and kill his father. So I guess that's kind of a rival. I don't know. Your brother's kind of a guy who's very often in his own headspace. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. All right. A long, convoluted answer, but there it is. He doesn't really feel like he has time for any rivals, but he's open to the idea. Because, he did learn at an early age that rivalry does really fuel personal development. Maybe not in the healthiest way. All right, with all that settled, let's jump in to the Tin Wound Hydroforge. Where is this bad boy?
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
All right, cool.
Let's see. Tin Wound Hydroforge. A map that every time I look at it, I cry a little that it's not a levels map, because this would have been the most perfect map to be a level map. Which I'll definitely share with you in the rap party for this game, because it's such a cool map. All right, you guys head back over there. I'll grab the music for it, but feel free to start doing what you do. Did it load up for everybody? No, it's in. God damn it, Foundry. All right, let's try again. Maybe? Am I disconnected? Okay. It's cool. Hit the button 2 or 3 times. It's not like a printer, you know. It's not like it'll do it over and over and over again until it breaks.
So wait, Bella.
Warning.
Did you get that action?
I don't actually know how to move them sheet to sheet, but if you want to use it, I just clear it and I'll post it.
Okay, right. I'll try to remember it's there.
I'm still going. I forgot. I'm still going.
Oh, are we still in combat? Oh, you're right. That didn't come up. Yeah, that didn't come up in the recap. Oh man.
I said that.
Oh, did you? Okay. Maybe
Wow.
I was feeling too optimistic. I don't know. All right. Well, in that case, is it? Man, getting like no music. Why is it coming in so low? Huh. All right. Whatever. All right. So we're still in initiative then. For reasons. All right, and we ended the turn. There we go. Delete. Without any message to ourselves? I find that hard to believe. Okay.
Pretty sure
well,
Ketrin got knocked unconscious by this horde.
By these zombies. Okay. All right.
So
Top of the round. Zenny, you're dying.
Stable.
Okay. Oh, you're stable? Okay. I didn't think you were stable, but yeah, okay. So you're wounded 3 stable. Okay, gotcha.
No,
Right,
you have hit points.
I have 6 hit points.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because my last action, despite all the fucking things that were wrapping me around, was to give you a potion.
Oh, I see it now. There's so many tokens and statuses, I couldn't see your health bar, which is so small. But yes, you do have 6 hit points.
Stand up.
Yeah, Zenny, you got your whole life ahead of you. What are you gonna do?
Nice. Ketchin's over down. Cacti, you don't have a little Zenny symbol on you, right?
I don't see one.
Let's see. I'll just Doctor's Visitation over here and to fix up Catcher.
Okay.
I'll pick up my hit flask as we go.
All right, 1, 2, and 3. And then gonna drop a big fat heal on Ketrin. Ketrin, who doesn't even have any wounded stacks. They're gonna be fine.
Yeah. Okay, that's me.
All right, Ketrin, you got 18 health. You're no longer dying, and I guess you'd be wounded 1. Perfect. It all automated correctly this time. Bella, to you.
Well, I'm still laying here at 35 feet up, and I gotta try to get some bombs out. So I'm gonna start rolling the flat checks.
All right.
Hey, look at that! Passed it by 1. It's gonna be a new session.
Hell yeah!
I'm gonna devise stratagem just for I don't know. Maybe not. I'll just throw it. I just need splash damage on these guys. So I'm gonna send out a alchemist fire. Let's see. And I miss, but they take 5 splash damage.
They do, which converts to 10 damage total.
Alright, and then I'm going to follow up at map, but first, I'm gonna roll my flat check.
Alright.
Alright.
You've gotten very good. Well, this represents you mixing these potions, right? Not just pulling them out, so I guess it's a little less weird. Wait, are you on new revised? Are you on revised?
I'm not on revised yet.
Okay, man, it's gonna blow your mind. It's like really, it's good stuff. All right, so you pull it out. You then throw it at map.
Yep.
All right, you lob it down from on high.
Why'd that close? Hold on. Something weird. There it goes.
Oof.
That's a critical miss, so...
Alright.
No damage. I still have one more. I can super map, I guess.
Alright.
I
It do say that you're prone up there.
I am.
Okay. Gotcha. Alright. Yeah, you could throw a third one out if you wanted, or you could just see how it goes. Alright, you pull it out.
It's to be an acid vial this time. I'm out of alchemist fire. Super map. Huh? Normal miss. There's another 10.
Alright, and with that, the Clockwork Swarm burns away. And we still... no one's dying, so I think we could end the encounter.
Yay.
Alright. You did it!
Hey.
You get 4 million experience points. Congrats. We're not using experience in the game, but you do have those in case you bring the character over to another DM's game that is using experience. You'll automatically be level 20.
I can register this with the Pathfinder Society. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you a forged Pathfinder Society certificate that says you have 4 million. That's fine. I have Photoshop. No, I think the certs are actually tracked in a database, so they have little serial numbers on them and stuff. I played a few Society games.
Someone please get me down from here.
Yeah, I mean, the controls are over here. Do you randomly pull one, Zenny, or is there a particular one you pull?
Don't worry, I'll cash it.
Palmer's left one because that's one I reach for the eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh shit,
Hey.
okay.
Oh shit. She can actually escape.
I believe the lever was the right one, though, to activate this. Alright, so as you pull the left one, what does it say in the adventure? Okay. So as you pull the left one, you hear sort of a grinding sound overhead, and you look up and you see that a winch full of chain that is already in the up position is trying to like go further up, and then you realize that if you pull it in the other direction, it'll start lowering the chain down from the ceiling, like right over here. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm still taking lightning damage.
Oh God. Then we have to stay at initiative. Who got to stay at initiative then? Okay. Crap. Okay. I appreciate your honesty.
I've just been rolling them in the background every 6 seconds or so.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see.
I thought I'd pass it eventually.
Yeah. Me too.
What is
all right,
the
so we're back in it.
See the cost?
You have to be within 1.
No, sorry. What was the I gun sickened because I had succeeded at a cost. So what was the DC of me trying to get out of this sicken?
Oh, to get rid of the sicken?
Yeah, I don't know if there's what the DC for that.
Oh, the succeeded at a cost from the sickened. It would be whatever you were trying to do that you succeeded at a cost to do, which I believe it was dealing with this.
Puppet. It was escaping from the puppeteer.
Yeah. So it's the puppet string DC, which is a 32.
Oh, all
right, we're back in initiative. So, Walter, what do you do?
I'm just retching.
All right, you're just retching. So go ahead and give us those barf checks. Let's go. Everything that happened in between counts because Bellinora was taking constant damage. Yeah, 19 ain't gonna be enough, bro. I need to see some real deep belly barfs. Let's go. Like really rumble that tummy, son.
All right, there's the first.
Okay. All right, so you throw up a whittle bit.
All right, that drops it down to the second one. Here comes the second one.
All right, beautiful. All right, Bella, you're 35 feet up. You're bound by.
I did roll an escape check at the end to try to get out, and I did
you make it?
I rolled a 34.
34. Okay, so you are free from that. Now what? You're 35 feet up in the air. You're free. You're prone.
Drink a potion.
Okay, you're gonna drink a potion.
Unless there's some way to get the electricity off of me, I don't think you can brush electricity off of yourself.
Well, if you bullshit a reason, we can lower the chance, or sorry, increase the chance by 5. So if you're like, I spend an action to ground myself.
Pull out anti-static
Yeah.
brush.
Yeah. Like I use my crafting check to figure out the best way to ground myself against the electricity. I'll be like, oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I like that. I'm gonna heal myself and then do that.
Okay, so all I need for the crafting check is, we'll just say 15.
Oh, okay. I guess I get 1 healing. And a crafting check of 15 should be no problem.
Should be no problem. No problem at all. Shouldn't have even asked for it. It's so easy for you to do. All right. So yeah, you lower the flat check from a 15 to a 10 as you ground yourself.
So you
Hey!
get healed.
All right.
Well, not healed.
All right.
Good.
So now we can leave initiative.
Thank you.
All right. So Zenny, do you try the middle one or the right one now?
Good.
All right.
The middle one.
I will. No, I will
It's the right.
It's the right one.
It's the rightmost lever.
As your hand reaches for the middle one, they both tell you it's
Oh.
the right one.
Oh, okay.
And I guess we never find out what the middle one does. ...
Dying a bit inside as I said the middle one. But yeah, I'll put a right one then.
All right, beautiful. And then you let out your last big barf, Walter. We all knew you had it in you. Good.
All
Okay.
right. And then escaping from the thing was 32 as well.
Yeah, but I mean we're out of combat
All right,
now,
cool.
so we can assume that eventually you do get out. So
Yep, I did 33.
okay.
All right. And I can mobilize. No way.
Because we have limited time, do you
Mhm.
do you want me to actually play the healing everybody for 10 minutes minigame?
That
Maybe
is
1 in 10 minutes.
you as a group can decide. I do have to check for random encounters since you are in a dungeon.
Yeah, better have this.
Thank you.
With my healer's gloves, which I can't heal myself with anymore because I'm undead.
All right. Well, I'll move up here, and I can only heal 4 people at a time. So, I guess I'll do the higher DC. There's not really any downsides to that. I think it's gonna make me target somebody. I'm gonna target myself. Zenny can heal herself, kind of, and I can drop some. So I'm gonna heal me and Stack and Bella and Walter.
Okay.
So here's 10 minutes.
Is this all at once in 10 minutes? You're doing it?
Yes,
You do. Okay, great. Okay.
because I have a ward medic feat.
Nice.
Okay, that's
Nice.
okay.
Whoa.
So that's 10 minutes. Everybody gets 50.
I get
All right.
three.
The time passes without.
Well, at the end
interruption.
of that, here have another 30 for my lay on hands.
Ooh, very nice.
At the end. So Zenny can have that 30. No, not us can have the 30. Zenny can have the 30.
Yeah.
Sorry. And then here's another 10 minutes. Okay, so that's for the 4 of us, not Zenny. And then Zenny can have another 30 from lay on hands.
And I'll
Okay,
do
so
top
is this another 10 minutes that goes by?
We're at 20 minutes since I started.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything seems fine.
Where are you at, Zenny?
full health.
Okay. All right. So then it's really just me and Bella that are not at full health. So I'm gonna do one more. Let's risk one more 10 minutes.
Ooh, okay.
And actually, we're not that bad, so I'm gonna do the lower DC that I will definitely succeed at.
Okay.
Okay, so that's for me and Bella.
Nice.
I guess during this time, since I'm now healed up, I'll just be investigating this area.
All right, you're gonna investigate the area that you're in. All right, one of the things you notice right away is now that it is defeated and kind of, cracked open a bit, the Clockwork Puppeteer is full of high quality steel cable. This steel cable, there is about 200 feet of unused, undamaged cable that could be harvested from this creature. With a price tag of 100 gold.
And how much does this weigh?
Actually, the bulk is not too bad. It is light, I believe.
Well,
here, I'll drag it over onto your sheet.
I'll stuff it into my spacious house.
All right, but other things of interest in this machining dome. Let's see. I've already kind of described it to you. You got the windows. They kind of have that sort of like old-fashioned Coca-Cola bottle, like warped glass vibe to them. Sort of arranged in a nice little stained glass pattern that looks a bit like rippling water, I guess. There are tools of all sorts here. If you needed, toolkits, repair kits, that kind of thing, you could definitely harvest enough supplies to build such a kit. It would take about 10 minutes per kit that you wanted to assemble. None of them are of any exceptional quality. But if you were like, do they have this, this stuff here to make a repair kit? I would be like, yeah, 10 minutes and you could piece together enough stuff to make a repair kit. But currently, everything is everywhere, so nothing is conveniently in one place. You do technically have 30 minutes. If you're not a healer, you could assemble some kits. So.
All right. So then, I guess it would be 3. If there's, does anyone need any type of kits? I guess it's 3 kits that could have been assembled during this time.
I would say that with the stuff here, you could assemble a basic climbing kit. You could assemble a snare kit, which is worth 5 gold. As far as low-level kits go, that's one of the better ones. Let's see, armor polishing kit. You could probably create that. And then there are the repair that we talked about. And then I believe... let's see... artisan toolkits for engineering. You could also assemble a thieves toolkit.
Or get replacement picks.
Yeah, I would allow that. I mean, you're probably better off just getting a toolkit, right?
Well, I already have a toolkit. I'm just getting.
Okay. We'll say that in place of a thieves toolkit, you could get 10 replacement picks.
It's way more than I thought. I'll take 5, stack it with the other 5.
For sure.
Picks.
All right. Do you need me to drag them onto your sheet, or?
I mean, I just have some in my inventory that I guess.
Okay, well, I dragged 1 onto you, Walter, so you can increase the amount if you need to.
I was just gonna increase the amount I had on my thing.
Okay.
This one.
All right.
The snare kit I'll take.
Okay.
And I don't know if anyone else needs a kit.
Particularly.
I'm good.
If you're just after like resale value, you could just grab another snare kit, but
all right, I'll do that.
All
right. So,
Benny, let's go find your brother.
Meanwhile, Zenny is pulling levers because.
So you did pull the center level?
Well, first the other one has to go the other direction to make whatever's on those chains come down, and then go pull the center.
All right.
level.
So yeah, you the first lever comes down, and you see there's like a chain with like mounting equipment and stuff that kind of drops down from the ceiling. The middle one actually raises this bridge like a drawbridge.
I guess I'll pull it again to put it back down.
Yeah, so it raises it that away. All
I
right.
suppose, Bella, that, maybe we can look around here for a bit first.
Benny, you need to confront your past.
I'll confront my past and my future, and first off, there's this room here we haven't looked in.
So yeah,
We
so to
can look in this one
recap, you did have a panel up on the roof that has not been investigated. A staircase up on the roof that you're all confident just leads to this staircase right here. There is technically a front door over here. There's this office space that Zenny is looking at. And then there is this staircase that leads down to a platform that looks like it goes into an access tunnel.
Oh, are you opening doors? Are you?
Well, that one was already open. All right, Zenny, as you walk into these rooms, you see that this is a series of office cubicles. And then they call them alcoves, but we all know what they are. Each alcove features a drafting table covered in schematics and drawing tools. Complex mechanical blueprints cover the walls. Additional schematics, clearly penned by a different hand, in a handwriting familiar to you, lie scattered on the desks. Alright, you can give me engineering lore or arcana lore as you are looking over the documents and exploring the office suite here.
Give you arcana, but not before I make fun of Stack. 1 sec. Hey, Stack, there's some crucial information in here if you want to drop a fireball.
Oh, okay. I'll do that in just a second. Leads okay. All right, on my way.
All right.
Boop.
Okay. Continue.
All right, and then Stack, you do pass a metal reinforced door that says maintenance, and it is locked.
And it is locked. Okay, well, let's do your thing first, and I'll address this door in a minute. All right, you want an arcana check?
Sounds like
I'll take arcana or engineering
Bella
from
may
the,
have
from
Okay.
three
All
of you
right.
that are there. See, Bella, you did succeed, but it was a close thing. So let me tell you what you learn. By studying all the blueprints, you can derive a floor plan for one entire floor of the building, your choice. So you have the roof, the current floor, B1 and B2.
Oh.
I feel like we already have a sense of the roof, and I'm curious to know what's going on in that basement. What do you guys think?
Sure.
All right, so
Yeah.
B1 or B2?
Give me
Wouldn't
B1.
B1 be both basements?
What?
I wouldn't, but B stand for basement, you know?
Yeah, but B2 means there's a second basement below the first basement.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, give me B1 so we know what we're walking into.
Oh, okay. Hold on. It says I'm supposed to provide you with a crude drawing, but they didn't provide one with the adventure. And as Josh can attest, using a store-bought adventure makes you the laziest person in the whole world.
I'm hoping
So-
that if we get B1, we'll get the secret passage to B2.
All right. Let me assemble this real quick, whilst you guys roleplay amongst yourselves.
Yeah. Stack just puts a fingernail into the lock, and it snaps, I guess.
Your fingernail snaps off?
Well, I don't know if the 24 is good enough.
Oh. Hold on. That's not the kind of role playing I need.
Yeah.
I need role playing that doesn't involve me. That's what I'm trying to. Amongst yourselves means do things that don't involve me. Yeah.
Zendy, is this your brother's work? Some of this? You look transfixed.
Yeah, it is, but in a way that I can't confirm with the GM right now. So, yeah, it is, you know, all this like Clockwork. He was obsessed with that stuff, you know, no friends. Made his friends out of corpses and machines as instead. Well, not that I had them either, but I guess I had my, skeletal dog.
I can't say I'm too surprised that this is the son of a bloodlord. No offense, some offense, I don't know.
But you're surprised that I was. Is that an insult? Are you insolent?
Well, you could say that my family has made a long-standing career of killing people with the title bloodlord.
It is a pretty common title.
Yeah.
I can think of 4 campaigns that have bloodlords, 3 of which I've run.
That's a thing.
But why would your family be willing to kill?
I mean,
Oh,
you've
dang.
seen the state of Nex. I mean, Geb, it's and everywhere they go, it doesn't seem to bring peace
Man.
and
Keep going.
I mean, depends if you like to eat food, I mean, if you like to not starve to death, then you're dependent on Geb one way or another. Fields upon fields of shambling corpses might seem unpleasant, but they feed the inner sea region.
It does not seem to want to post your blueprints to...
Oh, I see it.
Oh, you do see the blueprints?
I think so.
Or you just see the word tin wound?
Let me
I
see.
a blue thing. That's
Very
Okay.
blue.
What is that?
Well,
And this is the basement.
Yeah, that's the floor directly below you.
I'd be willing to bet almost anything that there's some bombs down there, but
No, those look like the electric pylons from the roof.
yeah, I do. But could be a structure that goes down.
look, there's like a lab on the I suppose it's west there, presuming of course that the cardinal directions are appropriate. The left-hand side of the map. Bargeria, if I knew him, he'd be hanging out with his lab equipment, or maybe with those possibly like Tesla panels in the middle, but probably there'll be more of those Clockwork zombies there.
And
He's
looking
probably
at-
hanging out
So
with the lab equipment.
anybody can drop me a society check to ask one question about the blueprints, basically treating this as a read map activity. The DC is going to be a 25, and a critical failure will give you false information. All right. Zenny, you really can't make heads or tails of the map other than what you see. Walter, you can't make heads or tails of the map other than what you can see.
I want to use a hero point on this one.
Oh, okay.
And take that. I get to take the higher. Can I roll with advantage, or is that just?
Yeah, you could roll. Well, it says you already rolled, but yeah, you could roll again. Yeah, you would roll with the advantage essentially if you use a hero point on it. Okay. Yeah. So you may ask me any one question about the blueprints.
Where's the entrance to the basement to?
Oh, that is a great question. All right. So see the stairs at the top of the map that you have to cross over what looks like a weird catwalk platform over maybe a chemical vat where the Joker and Harlequin would be made. Yeah. It definitely seems like the most difficult to reach spot on the map is, in fact, how you get to the lowest level.
Okay, makes sense. That's what I was thinking. But
Okay. All right. Anybody else gonna try their hand at reading the seer blueprints and figuring stuff out? All right. Okay. What now, guys? There is a door that Stack is next to that is locked. Stack said that he tried to unlock the door.
Yeah, it was a 24. I don't know if that...
All right, let me see. Oh, also, my bad. When you guys were searching through the room for useful things, including these blueprints, you would have also found these two items. One is schematic. These schematics detail some of the techniques needed to create Clockwork Undead. To the right buyer, they could be worth 400 gold. To the right person, they could be used to unlock a secret archetype, though the time it would take to do so is outside the scope of this adventure. And you find another shock rune. So who should I put those on? Party loot? Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
I am intrigued by
Should we take a moment to attach some shock runes to some people? Is all.
Well, I was gonna say, is that a downtime activity to attach, or is it just a couple minutes?
kind of.
Let's see. I feel like attaching runes shouldn't take a million years, but I'm gonna review it real quick. Let's
etch
see.
stuff into your weapon or whatever.
Etching process. Etching a rune onto an item follows the normal process for using crafting activity to make an item. You must be able to craft magic items, have the formula for the rune, have the item you're adding the rune to in your possession. That feels like etching a rune yourself, though. We're just transferring rune. You can transfer runes between a rune stone, which is what you have, and the item. This is a craft activity. You must be able to craft magical items. You can either move one rune from one item to another, or swap a rune on one item to the other one, such as the rune stone. An item can have multiple rune properties. If you attempt to transfer a rune to an item that can't accept it, you hear a "whop" sound, and then it doesn't work. Automatic. If you transfer a potency rune, blah blah blah. The DC of the crafting check to transfer a rune is the item level of the rune being transferred, and the price for the transfer is 10% of the rune's price, unless transferring from a rune stone, which is free, which this is the rune stone. If you're swapping the higher level DC, it does take 1 day to transfer a rune, or swap a pair of runes, and you can continue to work additional days. Wow. That's like, kind of like, it's, well, yeah. Yeah.
We don't actually have time to use any runes that we find here.
So you do have one more level up coming, and you do get a week of wibbly wobbly downtime. So that's sort of like why we inserted those weeks of wibbly wobbly downtime in between level ups, because this campaign, as you can see, does not give you. You're not going to spend a whole day in this office suite attaching runes or whatever. So
we couldn't even, unless someone has magical item crafting.
Hopefully, this steampunk adventure still will have robots for you to fight in the next part, with your shock runes or whatever.
I think when I had done it before on some of my other rune stuff was the downtime and having Sid help me with that, because she's in that.
Right. Yeah, and then also, there's the thing of like having to have the ability to craft magical items, which I don't know if you guys took the feats for that or not. But during the wibbly wobbly downtime, we don't worry about it, because we assume that you have we assume you have contacts in the city or in the group that can do it for you.
Right.
All right. So the door that you are standing before is an average lock, which means it has a DC 25. And you just got all these juicy lockpicks, so just spam it till we're done. I'm definitely going to reinstall for my next year games the mini game where you throw up a lock and it makes like a little interface, and the players can like click on the interface to try and like pick the lock. And I don't know, I guess it adds some sort of redemption to this weird lock picking system. In combat, like the lock picking is like, it makes sense, right? Like you're trying to pick a lock in a certain amount of time, and it can be very important to pick the lock. Outside of it, I feel like they're just trying to like tax you on a 3 silver piece item, which at a certain point in the campaign doesn't matter. So, I mean, I'm willing to hand wave it, that you spend, you spend a few minutes essentially out of combat. It's within your ability to do. The rolls don't say that. But it is within your ability to do. So, all right, you eventually unlock it. All right, you see you just fall to your death. You see a maintenance shaft. Energy crackles and hums through this 10-foot wide shaft, which runs up to a metal hatch in the roof. Mystery solved there. And down to a lower level of the complex. thick metal cables line the walls, and a metal ladder. That's good to have a metal ladder when you have all this electricity. Near the door allows for access to the upper and lower levels. 2 huge electrical cables attached to the turbines run through the ceiling and into this shaft. So as you kind of get a sense for what you're looking at, you do see, not shown on the map, but you do see like there's like cables that are all convening on this location. Actually, right here is where the insertion point is for a lot of them. So, you hear a voice from down below, and I quietly, well, not quietly, because I'm about to say it. I wish I had the time to make this a levels map, but I didn't know enough about levels at the time. A voice shouts up from below and says, "Oh no, they found me. Please, I don't know anything. I didn't see anything. I won't say anything. Please. I'm so sorry." And then they just start sobbing. And it has big, like, horror movie vibes, like Final Girl horror movie vibes. Like, whoever this is, they've been through an ordeal. I mean, I guess you could look down and see them. You look down and see a gnome. This gnome, for some reason, doesn't have adorable antenna eyebrows. Probably shaves them for work so they could wear those thick-ass goggles. She also has a Wolverine. She also has Wolverine's haircut and a very long neck. I could go on. I'm feeling kind of mean this morning. Sorry.
Ketrin's mom instincts kick in, and she yells down, "It's okay, honey. We're here to help. You just sit right there. We'll be right down."
Your comforting voice combined with your background and lifestyle, I will say, without a check, you calm her. And she says, "It was horrible. There was the man. He had a mask, and he showed up and just started killing everyone. And then they would get up from the ground, and they would start fighting each other, and I've been trapped here for days.
I'll slowly float down.
Okay. All right, I'll transfer you to the other map.
Oh, but there's a whole nother door.
Well, that's fine. You can. I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm just gonna go hug this poor child.
All right. So as
I think that's an adult.
it is.
Everybody is a poor child. Ketrin's like 300 years old.
Yeah, this is like when a coked up Mike Tyson thought that one YouTube guy was a baby, and he was like holding him like a baby and cradling him like a baby.
Laughing like a baby. That turned out well.
Oh my god. What a character, am I right? Anyways. Alright, yeah. She's actually be smaller than this. I don't know why the adventure doesn't make the gnomes small, but there you go. Alright,
Walter with us as well.
Oh, okay. Anybody else want to go down there?
Enough room. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 10-foot room, and it's got a ladder and stuff.
Hey guys, we'll go down there eventually. We don't need to go down there just to be able to see the map.
Alright, I'm gonna throw a barrel. Oh, it's a big barrel for some reason. Why is the barrel so big? Alright, hold up. That was weird. Okay. No, that's the barrel. That's right. I want the camera barrel. I was like, why is that big? Alright, much better. Alright, as you come down, she says, "You're a ghost." Oh no. Were you one of the people that got killed? I didn't know we had any visitors.
No. We're doing something else. We're trying to stop the man with the mask. It's fine. You're fine. I died a while ago. It was unrelated.
Yeah. Her situation is a whole deal, but she's good. But we heard there was some sort of trouble that was happening here at the Hydra Forge.
Well, do you have time for a quick flashback about what happened?
Sure. You said you were hungry, right? Probably want to get something in you, and I'll take out a ration and hand it to him.
Okay. Yeah, they devour the ration, and they paint a picture of a horror movie-esque scene where a man walked into the front lobby wearing a mask. It was hard to understand what he was saying, but his intentions were clear. He had some metal skeleton cowboys with him, and they started like shooting everybody. And then there were these like smoke monsters, and they started like, killing people and inflating their corpses like balloons. It got out of hand real fast. When she finally heard about it, she ran. But at that point, this necromancer terrorist, had already seized the first floor and the roof. So what she ended up doing was she went to the break room and she stole everyone's lunches. Because they wouldn't need them anymore anyways. And then she's been hiding ever since, surviving off of the stale, stolen lunches of her dead coworkers. Yeah. She's pretty much fatigued and at the point of, I would say drained. We'll throw a drained on there too. She's doomed. I mean, it hasn't been great. It hasn't been great. She's frightened. I guess the frightened will go away now that Ketrin's there. But yeah, she's not having a good time. She informs you that her name is Gloriana Button, which is an adorable name. And let's see, does she have anything else to add? As she is given food and attention and assurance that you are here to stop this guy, she is now bursting with joy and enthusiasm for life. Very quickly, she went from manic, I don't know why I'm even staying alive, to we could do this thing. She is a low-ranking engineer who works here and does not have any like high-level access to anything, but she is willing to answer questions about the facility now that you've given her some food.
Hopefully you don't mind that I'm wearing, I guess, your supervisor's overalls.
She says, as long as it's being put to good use. Did she get turned into a zombie or some kind of horrible monster?
No, I hope she got a very quick death, because it doesn't look like it was very nice for her.
Oh, terrible.
Hey Bella, you got any questions for this lady? She seems to have some idea about the Hydra Forge.
Mostly like if you were to put a bomb in this place, what might be the most vulnerable point?
That's an odd one.
That is not as scary as it sounds like, dear. Don't you worry.
I'm just trying to really figure out where they might do that, and then yeah, anything to know about those basement levels that might be nice security systems.
Yeah, security systems would be good to know. Though I guess safety isn't exactly the high priority here. Kind of looking around this place already.
Any other secret passages like this?
Well, she doesn't really think it's a secret passage, but she will fill out the map a little bit. Just give me a sec. Let's see. Like, this would have been a great handout, just saying. But I understand why they didn't include it, because, a lot of things.
GM agency.
That's cool. They do a pretty good job of preparing for everything. I think in this they were kind of just like hand waving it a little bit. Like, maybe I would just give you like a copy of the map or something, which is fine. That's a cool idea. Let's see. All right. Let's see. And then she's got this down here. All right, and then, truthfully, when I'm looking at the schematics or the blueprints, I actually don't know for sure what I'm looking at either. So just a sec. Oh, nice. Okay. Go here. All right.
After doing all this stuff,
let's
would
see.
an hour have passed?
Oh
Since,
no!
since the battle with the puppeteer.
No, definitely not.
We healed for 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
Or maybe
You definitely
like
haven't.
40.
You definitely haven't been exploring that long. All right, and then this is the cistern. All right, and then this room over here is the. What is this room over here? I guess I could just long click on the map, give you guys a play-by-play instead of trying to update this handout for you. Let's see, 15. Ah, okay. You'd probably want to know about that, I guess. All right. Okay. All right. So I'll give you an updated blueprint based on her notes. I'll throw that into Discord for you. Okay. Basically, she details the cistern, the main control room, the falls tunnel entrance, the barracks, and the chemical filtration facility. She warns you that the chemical filtration facility does not meet any safety guidelines, and you should not enter there without a hazmat suit.
Hazmat suits.
She says there should be some in the barracks. Okay. She explains that the cistern is full of clean drinking water, or at least it was the last time she checked, which was a week ago. This guy took over a week ago, the island. And then the control room is a marvel of engineering, because the windows actually look out into the river, like the underwater part of the river, which ultimately expensive and pointless, but that's how they did it. It did look cool though. Essentially, from here you could control the entire facility, including electricity, water purification, and then the flow of water into or out of the forge. Though it does sound pretty complex, you imagine that one of you guys will be smart enough to figure it out. This lady says that she's been studying for a promotion, and that she is willing to give it a shot if you can get her to and secure the control room. She had hoped to go to the control room and shut down the city's power to force people to come and investigate what was going on. But she says that it would be very possible to accidentally poison the city's water supply if you use the control room incorrectly. But
well, then we need to.
She's a bit ashamed when she says she was willing to run that risk if it meant getting help. And she can't make eye contact with Mother Ketchum when she says that, because basically she was willing to almost kill a bunch of innocent people on the off chance that she could get help.
I mean, she sounds like she knows what she was doing.
Yeah,
she probably would have been successful.
If she had done nothing, then this plot would have unraveled, and that probably would have been much worse.
All right, so you know that information. Then she tells you about the lowest floor of the facility. So the lowest floor of the facility is just essentially tunnels where they're basically like emergency flood tunnels. So if anything goes wrong, they can flood those tunnels to sort of buy themselves time to fix things that might be going wrong elsewhere. And they can also flood them on purpose if something happens to the water in the cistern. From the control room, they can drain the cistern into those flood tunnels so that they can get a fresh start on the cistern water supply. And then beyond the tunnels is the undercogs, which is just a steampunk nightmare of nonsensical engineering equipment that makes all of this possible, essentially.
That's where the bomb is, probably.
All right. She does say that since the attack, she hasn't seen the masked man, but she has heard a man who sounds like the masked man not wearing his mask, occasionally giving orders over the PA system.
Where can you access the PA system?
Oh, she says that in the first floor planning room that got blown up, there is access to the PA system. At the front desk, there is a phone for the PA system, and then on floor B1, which is the floor you guys are on, there is one in the control room.
So that's probably where he's hanging out.
She says that there could be one down in the undercogs, but she's never been down there. And that's pretty much that. She's definitely willing to answer questions, but I feel like she has kind of talked out all that info that she was carrying around. Switching back to the first floor, where you guys stood at the edge of the thing but didn't go down. What did you guys? I'll move you guys over here, you two. So what do the other three of you guys do?
Well, Bella, as she realizes we are approaching Parsus, remembers that she has antidotes that she needs to hand out to people. So I'm going to do that. Start doing that.
Okay. Zenny and Stack, do you listen intently to this woman's tale of woe and survival?
Yeah, he's around. Yeah, but I guess there's that one other door, but I also can't see. I'm still stuck in the sub level.
Oh, okay. I'll move you guys back to the floor then.
I don't think Zenny would listen intently to her tale, well, honestly.
Okay.
Stack, where's this door you're mentioning?
Oh. Boop. This one.
Clearly, we should investigate this to save time.
Oh,
all right.
Oh, look at you already opening it.
Wait, as you open the door, you can see a tired guard. They have a cup of coffee. There's no steam coming off the coffee, though. They have a newspaper. It is the Star. It is an older edition of the newspaper, from what you can tell at this distance. There is a phone on the desk. There is a little sign that says, "Welcome to the Tin Moon Hydra Forge." And then you do see that they are strapped. They've got a gun, and they don't have it handy, though. They seem very lazy and very tired. They turn to face you, and in the dim electric light, you see that they are very much dead. And they say, and looking around, you do see that you are in the beautiful foyer, or foyer. The white marble tiles and a domed bronze ceiling give this large room an air of ostentationness The curved wooden visitor desk stands in the center of the room, and several large potted ferns decorate the walls. Sitting atop the desk is a small sign that reads Tin Wound Hydroforge, and now you can see the rest of the sign since you moved, is currently closed to visitors. The guard slowly, because they are permanently slowed for some reason, taps the sign.
To you too, partner.
Well, if it's closed, I guess we'll be on our way. Oh, wait.
Guess we have to go back where we came from, although you won't be needing this anymore.
Oh, the phone. We gotta take that phone away.
Okay, so you reach for the phone. They move a hand to stop you from grabbing the phone. The phone is wired and everything. You know, it's an old-timey deal. It's really just meant for picking up and connecting to a local line within the building.
Yeah,
they look at you, and they look at the phone, and then they say,
We need to make a call to the boss, of course.
Oh,
I need to, but I wouldn't say that because that's too deceptive. However, I want to talk to my brother Parsus, who is on the end of that line, which is not deception.
All right, so you just say those words?
Yes.
Okay. Hearing the words boss and Parsus, the zombie goes, ah, and it picks up the phone, and you hear the line pick up on the other end, and you hear a voice say, what is it, front desk? And then you hear,
hold out my hand for the phone.
And then you hear on the other end, my sister? Which one? And then the zombie puts a hand over the mouthpiece, and then looks to you and says,
Say it's Jericho.
And then a voice said, that's impossible. She died. Well, Well, nothing ever stays dead. Oh. Okay. Yeah, pass the phone to her. Pass the phone to her. The zombie slowly passes you the phone. Ketrin, your mischievous children sense is tingling. You look up and you see that there's no one at the top of the ladder anymore. All right, you are handed the phone.
Howdy, brother. Long time no hear. Zenny here, of course. So, what's with this plot to kill us?
I heard you were in the city. I also heard that you were causing some trouble for Deputy Lovelace.
I mean, is that really a problem for you? She's awful.
She is awful. Yeah. I actually got sent here by father to assist her with a grand terrorist plot. Now she's intending to frame me for the whole thing, and also the nation of Geb. So I'm a little upset about it, honestly.
That's awful. I mean, maybe we should come to an agreement then and just stop this whole thing.
Wait, stop what thing? What's going on?
You know, Lovelace's whole thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'd like to do a team up. That sounds fine.
So my fans will be so pleased.
You have friends?
I know, right?
Did you make them yourself, or are they mind controlled?
I did find your notes on how to make Clockwork friends just now, but no.
Was that where did I leave that? I've been looking for that.
Oh no, that's now these are flesh and blood, not charmed, other than by my wife.
Oh, these are the other unfortunates that were initially framed by Lovelace, who now are doing whatever it is they're doing.
See?
They're government agents or something.
We have so much in common now, us and you know, both being framed by Lovelace. Both. You know, so clearly we should work together and fuck her up, right?
Wow. I mean, strong language, but yeah, that seems
I'm
like
sorry, I've been here too long. You know how it is in this town. They swear like sailors.
They do. I'm so excited to finally make it to Alkenstar. I think Father knew that I wouldn't be able to turn down this assignment because, as you know from our elaborate 42-page backstory, I've always dreamed of coming to Alkenstar. I've always been obsessed with clockwork machinery. And now's my chance. And now that I'm away, now that I'm out of that terrible place, I'm never going back. I've already drawn up some business blueprints for how to start my own sort of zombie steampunk factory here in the city. I'm pretty excited about it. I got some pretty good ideas going here. Trying to figure out the best way to get the capital, though.
So are you keen on like maintaining the safety and integrity of the city so you can work in it and have it be your place of zombie, right? You want to take it over?
My plan revolves more around like rebuilding in the aftershock of the incredible disaster that's about to hit the city.
Huh?
Oh yeah. Well, wait. Why are you even here? Alright, are you sure this isn't a double cross? Are you working for Loveless and she sent you here to finish me off because she suspects that maybe I suspect her planning to betray me? So
Nah. See, Loveless kidnapped one of our friends' lover, yeah. And we were trying to look into where.
Are you talking about those two dwarves?
Yeah. I mean, friend is a strong word. She's kind of mean, but doesn't mean her lover has to die, you know?
Sure.
So we're kind of looking into that, and we don't have any other leads other than whatever it is you're doing here. But now we're talking, you must have so much knowledge, so we don't need to do this stuff anymore.
You're here looking for the missing dwarves?
Yeah.
Oh, all my kidnappings.
Exactly.
How did you figure it out? What did I do? Where did I slip up? In the background, you hear... you hear Parsus say away from the headset, "Hush, it's fine. You're doing fine. Eat some more hay." And then they get back on the phone and they say, "What was it? What slipped it up? What did I do wrong? I knew the headless riders would be a mistake if I had them constantly coming and going from the island in a boat. So I've just sort of got them free roaming right now. It wasn't my smog race, was it? The kidnappings."
And people did that. A lot of people saw those. They were not subtle.
I thought in Alkenstar no one cared about children or the poor, so I've only been taking them.
Right, but like...
And the homeless. Nobody wants them.
Looked like really cool while doing it, and then they were like, "Oh, I remember that."
Oh, maybe I should have hired actual living thugs to do it.
Yeah, people noticed that undead here, it's kind of discriminatory.
Ugh. Okay.
They're like, you shouldn't have hordes of undead working the fields. It's weird.
Well, that's fine. The city... The city's gonna get a... There's gonna be a reboot of the entire duchy's infrastructure tomorrow, so I guess I ought to get a fresh start then.
I don't know. I'm not really thrilled about that because I met someone. And they're kind of big in the city, and I don't want to lose them to lose their estate. So I'm not thrilled about the idea of a restart. Maybe we could come up with a different idea, one that involves Loveless's death and you and I.
Well, I would like to not. I would like to not be framed for the terrorist attack. That's going to make it harder for me.
Can't be framed for something if it doesn't happen.
That's true.
So we work together. We kill Loveless, and then you're one of the heroes that stopped it. And then you'll be big in the city.
Big in the city.
And then you and I will be loved for our saviorness, and we'll finally be friends.
I do have a concern. I have killed a few people since coming to town, less than 200. So,
have you heard of Stack the Deck?
Oh, the leader of the wild cards?
Exactly. He's getting a pardon. If he can get a pardon, anyone can. Even you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
give a thumbs up to Stack the Deck.
I don't think you're really going to get a pardon, though. Alkenstar
You
doesn't
know?
seem like the kind of government that actually is going to reward you for surviving with state secrets. I feel like you're just going to spend the rest of your life in prison.
But we'll have the secret of Power Night.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then we
Pyronite.
can, have that as like.
Yeah,
that
that's what
offer.
they're going to use to blow up the waterfall.
Right, but we'll have it, right? Because we'll stop the people that are gonna blow up the waterfall.
Yeah.
Can't blackmail people that have that kind of collateral, right?
Right. Well, I already disabled the bombs in this facility.
Well done.
Yeah.
You already did step one. So, teammates.
But that doesn't mean that the falls are not going to get blown up tomorrow because they have a.
We got work to do. You and I and your many undead zombies made from the kidnapped remains of those of the city's unfortunate. We'll need to smooth that over with the others, perhaps.
All right, we're gonna cut from this scene to down in the basement where Button is describing to you the horrors that she's endured for a week under the tyrannical rule of this Gebite terrorist, and what a terrifying monster he is, and his lack of empathy, and it's a horror show. It's a horror show. So you guys are getting two very different situations here.
So it sounds like we should shoot him on sight, huh?
She says, no mercy for that monster.
I mean, from what we've heard, he's been kidnapping quite a few people, so makes sense. Good with that, Ketrin? Sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
Is it just the two of you? I saw
Some
you had
people
some
just need
allies.
killing.
We could take the control room first, and then from there, we could try to track them down.
Yeah, we have some
That
others.
sounds like a plan.
Yeah, we have some others with us, but knowing them, they're likely wandering around.
I'll follow you, I guess. All right, and so Ketrin, she's gonna just follow you around.
Okay.
Okay.
I will.
All right.
I will take care of her.
Zenny, from you, I need a request. So it would just be a diplomacy. But if you have anything that would modify a request, you can throw that in there.
I don't think I do.
I will say that your connected backstory, and you've brought up some decent points. And then they do have a willingness to do this, but they have some trepidations. You did mention that Stack the Deck guy, and as a spellcaster, I think Parsus has some nerves about working with someone who causes so many wild surges.
Yeah, same. Okay, so just normal diplomacy. I'll pick that, and then I'll have a point.
Oof.
I think that's a 2.
Yeah.
39.
39. Okay. The voice on the other end of the phone is quiet for a long time. And then it says, all right, let's do it. Let's work together and, I don't know, save the city, or at the very least, ruin Lovelace's plan. She was very mean. And also, ruin Father's plan, which I think that's the real thing that we're after.
Here's the icing on the cake for sure. I'm gonna have to talk this over with my friends, though, and I might be a bit trepidatious about the whole situation.
Ooh. Maybe we should just do a remote meeting. Maybe a face-to-face wouldn't be good. I don't really want to be killed by a bunch of vigilantes.
Have you got a nice little place where we could do a remote meeting then? I mean, let's telephone.
Well, there's a button on the phone that make it, if it puts on speaker, I could just talk to everyone here.
I pushed the button.
Okay, yeah, he comes.
Yeah.
Okay, he comes through though, and both places like.
Oh god, it's so loud.
All right, as you're approaching, Walter, you hear Parsus in the other room.
All right. Well, get your all gun and
Oh.
start moving slowly.
Okay. All right. Katrin, do you stay downstairs with her, or do you kind of carry her up the stairs, or?
Yeah, I would sort of attach her to an invisible leash and just let her follow
Okay.
me around like a puppy.
All right. Fair enough. Okay.
Could y'all come over here? We got things to discuss.
Yeah, us too. We got some info about this Parsus guy. He sounds like a real piece of work.
But don't worry about that. Just come in this room. We gotta talk.
I hear him, but he ain't here.
Oh, that's
As a
because they got all this
promise.
technology in Alkenstar. It's a city of wonders. Alright, so I have convinced him to cease his evil doings and help us against Loveless. You see, Loveless is the machinator of all of these plans and is going to destroy the city. And with Parsus, we can... They're gonna blow up a bunch of other places that would destroy much of the city and then rule in the aftermath. Parsus can help us prevent this, and then, you know, everyone lives. Well, except me, I suppose, but, you,
I accept you.
I'm gonna count on the undeath thing. I'll keep unliving, it's fine. Yeah, so... What do you think, you guys? I mean, this place is too much for us, as we've already found out, right? And we keep going on like this, we will
the
die.
voice on the phone says, crackling with stack, says, "Do you really think so? Do you think it was too tough?
No,
I tried
we were fine.
Were you fine? Are you sure?
We
I
really
mean,
weren't fine.
I made it extra tough.
That spider guy on the roof, he was nasty.
Oh,
Almost died.
did you destroy my Clockwork puppeteer?
I mean, he still exists in separate pieces.
That was very expensive to build.
Well,
All
you
the
have to-
all the pyronite that I got out of the bomb and I sold on the black market was used to build that.
You did what?
Don't worry about it. You see,
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
I already disarmed the bombs at this facility.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Can I have
See?
them?
It was the latter part that you
I
said.
just said that I sold them to
Oh.
fund my research.
I see.
Is this line? There's too much static on the line? Maybe we should switch from speakerphone. I'm getting some feedback. We'll just push through.
Okay.
Katrin walks up to the phone and she puts on her best stern mother superior voice.
Oh no.
And
Okay.
and she walks up to the phone and she says, "Is this true, son? What Zenny's saying? Are you telling the truth?" And I would like to sense motive through the phone as he responds.
Oh, wait. What part am I telling the truth about? I didn't say anything yet.
Well, what Zenny said, you said.
That you disarmed the bomb,
Oh.
sold the material on the
No.
black market, and are looking to ally with us against
No, that he.
Loveless.
Yeah, that.
All that stuff.
Well, I don't know what evil ways she's talking about, but I am willing to help you stick it to Loveless because Loveless thought I was some idiot vampire from Geb that she could pull a fast one on. But I think she got too cozy with that Ebrium guy, and well, they decided to double cross me and Geb at the last minute. But I know their whole plan because I reanimated a ton of animals and people and stuff, and I've been keeping eyes and ears out all over the city. I mean, I have the whole plan. I mean, I know when it's going to happen, where it's going to happen, roughly where they are right now, all of that.
You say you're a vampire too now?
Well, no, I'm a Dampier, but
Oh.
I mean, you know.
Actually,
Wait, are you a vampire now?
Maybe. Lots of things have happened out here, you know.
That would be impossible without Father's blessing.
Unless there were other ways to become vampires that he was keeping secret.
Oh, interesting. I think I'd rather be a Clockwork Lich, honestly.
There's options.
Yeah.
But yeah, so partners, yeah?
Well,
With the
anyway,
Katrin partners,
I have sensed motive.
Oh,
Do,
Okay.
do I feel that he is telling the truth?
Okay. Let's see. Let me check that seek action. Ooh, that's a pretty good. Both of you did pretty good on your seek
Catching has a
actions.
bonus as well when it's about lies, right?
Yeah.
It's included in that, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So you are confident that if this guy was lying to you, you would know, and it's much worse than if he was lying to you. You realize that this creature was raised in an amoral, evil necromantic kingdom, in a privileged life full of abuse. Their understanding of basic moral and human decency is non-existent. They don't think that kidnapping and killing less than 200 people is really a big deal. Nor do they think that their experiments, working with like terrorists, or any of that is necessarily bad. And they do, you can hear it in their voice, they do get heated talking about Loveless and this double cross. You also kind of intuit from this that if there were bombs here, but Loveless has her own bombs, then Loveless had to suspect at some point that this guy would be unreliable or double cross, or maybe Ebrium felt that way because of the whole feud between Nex and Geb. But Ketrin, redundancy is good, but this is a lot of redundancy. Walter, you guys are confident that they really want this plan to succeed. They really want this plan to succeed.
Hi, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
First, just anyone notable that you sold that Pyronite to? Anything stand out?
Yeah. So, who did I sell that Pyronite to? Who indeed? I sell that Pyronite to.
I'm just picturing Gaxnix bricks, like losing his
I'm trying to remember. They
Monkey
gave me
Goblin,
a
maybe?
they gave me a lot of money for it.
Yeah, that probably.
Was it the Gilded Gunners? They have gold teeth.
Ooh. There was a lot of gold, yeah. I do remember they had some pretty good style, some fashion, yeah.
All right. Well, Gilded Gunners have that now. That's a whole another bridge to cross. Second follow-up question: Ebrium. What can you tell us about him? I don't feel like we know anything about Ebrium.
What can't I tell you? What can I tell you? I'm gonna dish all his secrets right now.
Oh fuck yeah, I'd love to.
That was gonna be my question to you. How did this whole alliance thing between you, Loveless, and Ebrium start?
Okay, well, which do you want first? Ebrium information, or do you want
I guess my question would flow into Bella's question.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Start with the foundation of it all.
Oh, all right. Let's see. All right, so Ebrium is a very powerful spellcaster from Nex. Let's see. What else can I tell you about him? He has mastered a type of magic called Vitromancy, or Vitromancy. Basically, he's a glass wizard. Now, that might seem cool, but it might also seem lame. Overall, it's pretty cool. He got into glass magic when he started dating a glass Medusa. So it's like a Medusa that turns people into glass. She's actually able to curse those she turns into glass into living glass servants, which is kind of awesome. But then again, they're still made of glass. But Ebrium is so into her and into what she does that he started to kind of experiment with glass magic. It might also be that she turned half of his body to glass in their initial encounter. So the guy is like maybe a third living glass. Kind of cool. Anyways,
It's pretty cool.
So she's like his muse or something like that.
Yeah. So
That's pretty cute.
it is. It's just nice. He's like, I don't know. He's really like all those guys from Next. You know, he's just looking for ways to get good, get better. You know, defeat his enemies. You know, that sort of thing. So, I don't know. I mean, he was raised in the capital of Next Quantium, and, you know, his mom was a very powerful person in the political machinations of the Council of Three and Nine. But he never really wanted to go in for politics. It was always about personal power for him. So even though he had everything he could ever want, he wanted to have something that wasn't given to him. He wanted to be a made man. Maybe he also had the spirit of Alkenstar in his heart. I don't know. But he refused any sort of nepotism that his mother would provide for him, blah, blah, blah. He's one of those guys that tells you all about how he pulled himself up by his bootstraps or whatever. Anyways, he became an adventurer. He ran into this Medusa. She killed his entire adventuring party, but then they kind of fell in love. And then he moved her back into the city, and she became a famous artist, and he decided to settle down a little bit, or at least it seemed that way. Anyways, his mom got assassinated a few years ago, and that was sort of the motivation he needed to start really doing something with his life. So he basically bought out a bunch of like useful industries with his inheritance from his mother, which I tried to tell him, you're not a made man if you use your inheritance money to get your fortune, but he got really upset about that. Anyways, he did make his own fortune. He became a powerful, magical financier or whatever, but it wasn't enough for him. He became drunk on wealth, the acquisition of wealth and power. Real supervillain stuff, I guess. So anyways, he received an offer from, people within the city that are aligned with Lovelace's goals, and he was all about it. Apparently that same offer was sent to my father, but my father was like, these are the games of children. I don't have time for such nonsense. So he sent me to do his dirty work here in the city, which was basically just assist Lovelace with her scheme. He doesn't want to know about it, but anything to destabilize Alkenstar is good. Because, really, I mean, this city's amazing. Everyone should be worried about them. I mean, look at this Pyronite stuff. It's so easy to make once you figure it out, and then, like, you could just mass produce it. It's crazy. You guys could become a world power with this stuff. So I think my father sort of saw the writing on the wall that the technology of your region was just going too fast and advancing, like in ways that no one could have foreseen. And so, you know, the opportunity to see you guys sort of knock down a peg was pretty good. I have to say that I don't think my father really read all of the information. Maybe he wasn't fully advised. Maybe he just thought I wouldn't be up to the task and I would die. Or maybe he wanted Geb to get framed as the criminals so that we could all go to war. It's hard to tell with that man. But I get the feeling that since he asked me to do it, he didn't have a lot of confidence in the outcome. But here we are.
But the opportunity was enough to get you.
That was a little rambly on my part, but yeah, I did come here, and they did fill me in on the plot. Basically, the river is the lifeblood of the duchy, and the waterfall is the heart of that lifeblood. The screw, that large metal contraption that gets the ships up and down the 500-foot waterfall, was the greatest and most expensive invention and innovation in the history of the city, and it allows the waterways to actually be used for trade. You got the Hydroforge here, which is pretty nice with the whole electricity and clean water thing, I guess. But anyways, with the destruction of the Tin Moon Hydroforge, the destruction of the screw, but most importantly, the waterfall itself. You see, this pyronite stuff, it's devastating to stone and earth and metal. It just shreds it, milks it like butter. Enough pyronite going off could actually cave in the waterfall, flooding the lower city and just destroying the entire infrastructure, as well as destroying the screw, shutting down trade in the region, absolutely crippling the city. That would, of course, cause issues for Martel, because then they would be unable to do business via the river and access the seas. They would still have the Mwangi Expanse, I guess, but I mean, it's just not the same as having access to Absalon and the inner seas. I asked Lovelace, what are you thinking here? You're just destroying your own city. And she had this sort of weird look in her two different colored eyes. That means that she's part hag, by the way, throwing some spoilers at you. She had this look in her eyes, and I've seen that look before back home. It's the look of a crazy person. And they were like, through destruction, we'll find a way forward. Whatever that means. And so I think that ultimately they are hoping, they and their political allies, that a major terrorist attack that cripples the city's infrastructure, especially if they could frame it on Nex and or Geb, would then create an opportunity, a wartime opportunity, to establish martial law, putting Lovelace in almost a imperial general sort of position of power over the entire duchy, especially if during the chaos of all that, something happened to the ruling council, or at least the ones opposed to Lovelace and her friends' beliefs. When they kind of walked me through it, it did make a lot more sense, but it does seem like, well, it just seems like a lot, you know? I get it. Maybe they feel that the machine is too well established, and the only way that they can have things their way is to do a reboot of the whole system.
So I got a question.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
So they would go to war with Geb and Nex to then be able to declare martial law, but they would have destroyed like the entire city and economy and infrastructure. How would they avoid getting completely obliterated by both of those sides when even one of them surely could do it, right?
Right, so what I think happened is I think Ebrium convinced Lovelace and her members of the council that Nex would always stand by the duchy even in times of war. Because technically on paper, the duchy does pay a certain amount of allegiance to Nex and no allegiance to Geb. And I wouldn't put it past Ebrium to actually be working with the next government, with the whole cover story of hating the government and wanting to be his own man, because this does seem like the sort of scheming wizard thing that the Nexians would do. You basically convince your little colony that now's the time for revolution, now's the time to get strong and do things your own way, and you basically let them shoot themselves right in the foot. And then you swoop in and you're like, my little baby, you hurt yourself. And then now they're in your pocket. I don't think she realizes that, that she's probably playing right into Nex's hands. But I do know that they did intend to frame this up as a Geb attack. And when I figured that out, I started to become very difficult to work with. Which is probably what tipped them off that I might be compromised, and that's why they went with their secret backup plan, which I haven't told you about.
You care to tell us about the secret backup plan and where they're like planting these bombs in order to blow up the screw in the waterfall?
Oh, sure, yeah. So, I mentioned earlier that Ibrahim is a successful financier or whatever, and he's got lots of money.
Very high class mage, yes.
Yeah. Well, a few months ago, he built a riverboat casino called the Gear Smoke. I don't know if you've heard of it.
We've heard of it.
Oh, all right, great. Well, that's where they have the backup bombs. And it's currently sailing up the river to our location. And then they're going to, like, suicide bomb the ferry. In case the bombs here are compromised.
Gideon might be returning on that boat.
Yeah, well, that's
damn.
the thing that makes this such a brilliant scheme, right? Is the people on the boat are all the, like, richest and most influential people in the city, many of whom are the enemies of Lovelace's political faction. So essentially, they've got a mobile bomb, and on the bomb are a bunch of political prisoners, including the prince of the Dungenhold dwarves.
I assume Ketrin is somewhat concerned about that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine how the dwarves
Gideon,
are going to
the paper
feel.
magnate, he makes post-it notes.
Oh, I love post-it notes. I'm using them all the time.
He makes all our lives better in ways we didn't even realize.
Sister, is that the special someone that you met?
But of course, Sir Gideon Sharp now could start paper manufacturing's own.
I'm so happy that you were able to find love outside of an arranged marriage forced upon you by our cruel father. I hope that works out for you. I mean, it won't, because he's going to get blown up.
No, 'cause we're gonna stop him with your help. Isn't that right, gang?
Well, you only have until tomorrow at high noon.
Gasp.
Damn it, Sunset got more time.
Did you do this for the other group too? You have until sunset.
Yeah. It
What
was
time?
It's just too easy.
it was time so that they would have one night to actually sleep,
And then they hit that milestone, and then, then they have, a few hours, essentially. A few hours. For them, they actually didn't have more time because they finished this dungeon at like 4 in the morning. So they had to do some sleeping and then wake up and only had a few hours before sunset.
I said, isn't that right, gang?
Kind of.
I guess.
Yeah.
Excellent. So how are you gonna help us, brother?
I feel like I've already helped a lot by giving you information and stuff.
Have like, I don't know, some zombies you can send on the ship with us, though, you know?
Wouldn't that be kind of conspicuous?
That's pretty obvious.
Oh,
yeah, but you
that's
want it
because
to be
I haven't told you
conspicuous,
the
right?
details of the plan.
You want it to be conspicuous so that they know you're the hero.
No, I feel like...
Yeah, you definitely won't be pardoned unless you are conspicuously a hero, dude.
You need to be participating actively, and then they'll be like, wow, that Parsus, we had him all wrong.
Yeah, he sacrificed all those homeless people to save the city.
No,
Exactly.
if I went with you, though, they'd recognize me right away.
We don't need you to come with us, although that'd also be pretty sweet. But, like, I don't know, some of those shambling monsters upstairs that threw me off the dam, those would be pretty great.
Well, how many do I have left on the roof?
All of them, I think.
On the roof?
Did you kill them all?
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's
Oh.
going to take some time. All right.
You have another closet full of zombies somewhere?
I mean, how are you planning to get to the boat? Maybe I could help with that. I have some undead crocodiles.
Ooh, that would be cool.
Yeah, you know, I
Can they throw our
flooded.
robots?
I flooded the bottom floor of the dungeon. You see, because I know adventurers hate water. Then I put giant skeletal crocodiles in the water and zombie piranhas. It's good stuff.
Still got style. Well,
It's Gloria just pale at this point.
Yeah, Gloria can't believe this is happening. You're supposed to be killing this guy.
I pat her on the shoulder every now and then, and as we leave, I'm gonna give her a speech about the reality of politics and how it's okay.
Wait, the beautiful
yet distant and famously cool shield marshal that served the city for over a century wants to blow the whole thing up so that she can become some kind of emergency state general ruler?
Yeah, that happens fairly commonly, actually.
Yeah, imagine
Keep up,
a
man.
ruler declaring martial law in a state of emergency so they can wield unchecked power. It's
Oh, they can get that to
unfathomable.
pass because Parsus, you can confirm this, right? The people who reached out to you and the other guy, was it someone who was connected to Town Bend?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And we found that information in her office saying that they were going to try and pass a law to conscript everyone to martial service.
Well, yeah, but that law, that was Lovelace's gentle plan. But then Ebrium got a hold of her, and she's like full radicalized now.
You know, we do have
See,
a way
she
to be
tries
safe.
to make it sound like she reached out to Ebrium, but I learned that they were acquaintances for far longer than her reaching out to him. I'm sorry, but maybe it's just being a Gebite, growing up in Geb. It has to be Nex. Nex has to be the one behind this. No offense to Lovelace, but she's just a police officer. They're statistically some of the stupidest people in the world.
Well, she's a pretty sharp one, but I could see how her ambitions might get the better of her.
Is she sharp or just older than everyone else?
Age comes
think-
great wisdom.
I think they just
Right.
noticed that she had those ambitions and how they can best get her to follow along.
Ugh.
All right. Well,
Oh,
how fast are these crocodiles? And I mean, if we just show up on the ship, that's gonna be a
Oh yeah, I mean, if you ride up on some undead crocodiles, guns blazing, I mean, this is a 4-story ship with guards all over the place, and who knows how many traps and and then of course there's the fail safes too. I don't know exactly how many bombs they have on the ship. I do know that a single Pyronite bomb in the right place could cause a lot of devastation. But they would probably have, I'd say, 3 to 5 based on how much Pyronite they had and if they're going to use everything they have left. So they're probably 3 to 5 payloads hidden throughout the ship. And then they have 2 backup plans. 1, Lovelace has a remote detonator that allows her to speed up the timers on all the bombs. So if they get desperate enough, they could just try to detonate the bombs, killing everyone on the ship. But hey, at least they wouldn't destroy the waterfall. But then Ebrium, despite all the counseling that was given, has basically etched runes throughout his riverboat casino that will allow him to teleport the ship. So if they get caught out, I think he will make the desperate play. And I did counsel that with the wild magic, such a ritual would be devastatingly dangerous. But if they're willing to do it, I think their intention would be to teleport the ship directly to its destination and then detonate it. As far as escape strategies go, I think the intention is Ibrahim intends to teleport away. I don't know how Lovelace intends to escape.
Be on the boat, you think? It's my understanding that she's already back in the city.
Well, she has a remote detonator. I don't
No,
know
no,
how
no.
far of a range
Lovela-
that thing has.
Lovelace is on the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently she went to pick up one last payload of Pyronite in her private boat, but then that boat caught up with the gear smoke and they transferred the cargo on board. Now
would've
she's
had to-
staying with it for the rest of the journey back to Alkenstar.
That would
well,
have been at the gunworks. We're just there.
so it strikes me that it almost seems like it'd be more sensible to blow this boat up before it can get close to the city rather than risk taking the time to defuse it, or we just gotta
But
get the
there's
people
innocent people on
You gotta
that
get
boat.
the people up. The trick, how many innocent people?
Oh, you hear some cruel laughter in the telephone, and he says, "How would you get them off the riverboat? It doesn't have any lifeboats."
Of course it
Working on
doesn't.
that. We have rowboats. They don't hold a lot of people.
You said there was a lot of political opposition to Loveless and Town Bends. Do you have
Is
an
that
idea
where-
of how many numbers?
Oh,
Is that where Phoebe is?
that would be pretty hilarious if they put the dwarf and her wife on the boat with the bombs. I mean,
Yeah.
that seems like a good place to keep them, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, that's opposition.
It does feel like all your eggs in one basket, but at the same time, at this late stage of the game, I mean, why not? But I can assure you, to the best of my knowledge, there are no bombs hidden on or inside the screw. I've had my machinations, my little pets, scouring, looking for any additional explosives here. I do think the only remaining pyronite is with Loveless and Ibrahim on that ship. I even thought about calling in a tip to the dwarves of Dung and Hold, see if they would send their air force down. But then I realized that if their prince is there, they're not going to want to risk it.
Hey, Bella, that bomb that was at the gunworks, how difficult was that to disarm?
Doable, but not a guarantee. Having to do it 3 to 5 times gives me some degree of anxiety. Reliably finding all those bombs in time before they just decide to teleport and detonate gives me a lot of anxiety.
Well, that's the issue, right? Sorry if I'm cutting you off. But if you guys, again, go in with guns blazing, they're going to panic and just activate their backup plans. Then you have
Scarce time at all to take care of
So-
all your issues.
How hard is it to deactivate a rune like that?
Well, a ritual of that size, it wouldn't just be one rune. It would be many runes. It's likely it was built into the construction of the ship when they renovated it.
What if we took control? No, I was gonna say took control of the ship and beached it, but then they would just teleport it.
Wouldn't they have to do like a ritual, or is it the ritual or they completely just need to say go?
I mean,
I'm assuming it's the latter, that the majority of the work has been done up front. I mean, again, these Nexians, they live and breathe magic.
What?
I mean,
How about this?
also,
We all pick one NPC that we save, and then we blow it up.
Could we sabotage the teleport mechanism, the ritual? In some way?
Would be Ibrahim himself. It's
Uh,
likely
So it's
that
not
in
like
order.
we can go around and erase some magical inscriptions or whatever.
Well,
Sounds-
if you could find them and do it without arising suspicion, then yeah, certainly.
We'd have to take out Loveless and Ibrahim basically at the same time to.
I haven't sent any of my little pets to the ship because I don't want to arouse any additional suspicion.
What if if we find Abrium, then it can't. If we kill Abrium, it can't teleport, right? And all Lovers can do is detonate it. But if it's not the destination, detonating it won't do anything, right?
It would be very
It will kill
desperate.
us.
It'll be very desperate on her part. So I think the whole plan is that she wants to be the general ruler
Right.
of Alkenstar. And I mean, if she's crazy enough, she can blow it, then that'll be it.
So,
But another question: how quickly can Ibrium activate the teleportation? I.e., in under 6 seconds?
You got no answer from Parsus, because Parsus doesn't know for sure.
Okay.
Can we
Yeah.
do an Arcana roll to determine such things?
Yeah, you can give me an Arcana roll. Yeah.
Stack the deck. You want to join in this?
Just throw out a general recall knowledge, because magic falls under 4 different skills, so maybe there could be some overlap. All right.
use esoteric law with a -2 on my end.
Okay. Okay. All right. Walter, you don't know a ton about teleportation, but you have some ideas. So you may ask one question.
Yeah. I feel like
Bella,
Whoops.
you're very confident about it. You can ask one question. Zenny, you know a bit about rituals and teleportation, obviously. You can ask a question about it. And then I was getting all of them out of the way, and then you guys can decide,
So you don't ask the same questions, essentially.
Were you rolling stack or recall
Oh
knowledge?
yeah, I was trying to do the blind GM roll, but I still keep seeing the results.
Just use the recall knowledge, bro. It's a button.
Oh.
How long does it take?
All right, Stack, you are extremely confident about it. You may ask one question. So let's hear those questions. You wanted to know how long it would take, Bella?
Yes.
Okay. A ritual of that size should take 10 minutes to an hour or more. And the only way that it could go faster is if they had some kind of focus that they essentially put all of the energy into ahead of time.
So maybe we could find that and destroy it.
You guys can ask a second question. Zenny, Stack, Bella.
Well,
No, Bella already asked. Walter?
I feel like mine may be outdated because of old civilization, but is there an idea that if maybe one of these, you said there was, I think Parsus said there was multiple teleportation runes. If just one is destroyed or sabotaged, does that would that undo all of it, or would everything have to be or the whole thing to be inoperable? You're singing if just one piece of it needs to be removed or not.
So tampering with it could either disable it or raise the DC to effectively finish it. But kind of building off of Bella's thing, if they already have like the ritual essentially banked in like an item, then that would be a moot point. It might require a second check if the runes have been tampered with. However, tampering with the runes of a ritual can have unexpected effects outside of a wild surge. So it could teleport all of the people into a volcano. It could teleport everyone's minds into different bodies. It could turn everyone inside out. It could fling people into the river. Like, it could do nothing. But yeah, tampering with the ritual could have unexpected side effects. Okay.
well, at ritual focus, how would one find such a thing? Would it be obvious? Would it be tiny?
It could essentially, depending on the power level of the people that created it, it could be, if they don't have a lot of money, it would probably be very large and very obvious. If they were wealthy, like Batman villain wealthy, it could be anything. It could be as small as a ring.
Even for a ritual as big as this?
If they have the resources, yeah.
It sounds like this even guy's the ladder.
And then Stacked, you have a question?
Let's see. Is there any way to detect such a focus? Like either like detect magic or any other
Detect magic would definitely do it, and you guys are about to be level 10, so I don't know if that finally makes detect magic useful. Let me see. I know at heightened 4, I don't know if you can pinpoint the source of the highest level magic. That would definitely be the focus, the ritual focus would be the highest, would guaranteed would be the highest level magic thing. So are you able to heighten to 4 at 10th level?
It should be.
Should be fixed,
Okay.
yeah.
So the danger though is I mean, you would be, you would be essentially dragging wild surges throughout the boat. I mean, you could kind of move to an area, cast it, look around for 30 feet, go to the next area, cast it, look around. You don't make it your exploration action. You know what I'm saying? Like you would, it would be an active choice to do it.
But like a wild surge going off every 30 seconds.
Every time.
Well, we could look at tomorrow's broadsheets or whatever. See what you're looking at for tomorrow.
Okay. Like if there's a time that there's 0 wild surges, I guess we could do it. We could try then.
We have to be on the boat at that time.
Well, right. It has to be within 30 feet. But yeah. All right.
But
this
still
is
kind of solves the question of how do we get onto the boat when we're very known people.
How we got on the boat?
Yeah, I mean,
we do have to sleep, right? Like we can't get on at night. Like,
Mr. Fluffy Bottom can get on the boat.
All right, I'm gonna cut your broadsheet short at noon, since that's when the campaign will end. So, post it in. All right, you find I'm assuming during the wibbly wobbly timey-wimey downtime, you'll get a up-to-date paper, or maybe just out of habit, you guys pick up a paper while you're in the city. They're negligible in price at this point. So, it looks like there's surge time from 8 a.m. until noon. That's going to be rough, or not rough if you're into wild magic surges. In the earliest morning hours, so from 4 a.m. till 8 a.m., it's going to be bronze time. Now, the river is considered to be the waste, so there is a higher chance of wild magic surges. So it's a base 10. Bronze time reduces it by 4. Surge time increases it by 4. And the boat, according to Parsus, is insulated. So that does reduce wild magic by 1 step. So that would mean it's a 5 or less during surge time and a 13 or less during... Sorry, a 5 or less during bronze time and a 13 or less during surge time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like those odds. How fast can I move?
I mean, you have your...
No. I mean, like, theoretically, how far? Like, let's see.
I don't think there's any theory behind it. This is Pathfinder. You just do the math. Yeah.
Let's see. We have haste. I have this scroll.
Oh, I guess I should ask. Do you guys consider your confrontation with Parsus and your adventure here in the Tin Moon Hydra Forge to be complete?
Well,
hey, Parsus, is there any cool equipment around here that we could use maybe for our adventure?
Yeah, Parsus says you can have anything on the first floor.
We know you have sub-basements.
But I know, that's why he said the first floor. Like,
yeah, where's the good stuff at? Where's the...
he has to think about his future, okay? He's got to think about his future. So I do ask again, do you guys consider yourselves...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it. Jenny went through the pains of reconciling with him, I guess.
Okay.
So it sounds...
I'm so proud of you, Zenny.
Zenny would consider this to be resolved, but she honestly wasn't expecting anyone else to go along with it. So she's very pleased that they did, but she was
I'm
shocked.
so happy to see you unite with your brother against your bloodlord father.
Why, thank you, Bellinor.
And, I mean, he has been kidnapping people, but we also have been working outside of the law, so honestly, this is kind of the line.
Let's not analyze that too much.
Yeah.
I'm not really prepared.
It's skating that line very, very thinly, because the amount of people he's been kidnapping and killing. But
Hey, listen, I'm not about to cast stones at this guy. I'm partially responsible for Pyronite even being a problem.
Yeah.
Partially responsible. Cool.
I didn't make it a problem, I just made it.
Like I said, let's not analyze that either, then, right? Let's just stop analyzing things. And
Well, I
Just
guess
self-think.
Walter would ask on the phone if Parsus is still there. Do you plan on still remaining here at the Hydra Forge, or are you going to be leaving?
Well, I don't want to give away all my plans. I mean, some of you might, I don't know, try to double-cross me later. But, I mean, I do plan to stay in the city. But I am thinking now,
You did say that if I wanted credit for stopping her, so I could be a big damn hero, I would need to be there.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the thing I wanted to tell you. I do have a way that you'd be safe. You'd be safe if you were there.
Safe? I don't know about safe.
No,
We're going on
safe.
we're going to a bomb-laden ship that's
Exactly.
strapped down with teleportation rooms.
But
That doesn't seem safe at all.
I have a spare B-team badge here.
Well,
Oof. I am far too independent for that sort of thing. You can join my B team though.
Oh,
Would we be
he's like
immune
this
now?
guy.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You want to be a dedicated NPC who we can give you a hat of disguise.
All right. So I guess as weird as it sounds, do you guys want to end the campaign here? And you just become B team members of Parsus. So then,
Nah, I'm good.
we'll just roll off to see if he does it or not.
Just occasionally give him like +1 to reflex
Yeah.
saves.
It's like we don't have the badges to control him. We don't have.
He definitely is a very independent individual. Like he is. Yeah. But
He's
if
like
he
a
joins,
Charizard.
here's the thing I should tell you. Do you want a level 10 plus NPC spellcaster joining your party? I mean that. I mean, I don't want you guys to feel like somebody's stealing the spotlight from you.
Well, the
I'm
reason
quite
I was
happy.
asking if he was leaving is because, I mean, the Hydra Forge is still a Alkenstar facility. Someone should be running electricity into the city.
Oh yeah, I have guys I trained for that. They used to work here. I have this amazing invention where I chop off someone's head. There was this kind of fat girl. No, I shouldn't say fat. She was very thick. And she had a sort of a grayish blue jumpsuit. And you could see Walter's grayish blue jumpsuit. And he said, I found out she was the boss of this place. So I cut off her head with surgical precision. And I actually installed it into my latest invention. And now she gets to continue her job of running the facility. She's very stubborn, though. She wouldn't teach me how to do it myself. Very cheeky. But, no, I'll just leave her in charge.
I just look at Gloriana. Is she pale?
She's actually retching and vomiting in the corner. She was about to hand Mother Ketrid some quest rewards for saving her life, but she's like throwing up in this plant right now. So it's like, yeah.
Mother dear, could you like tell her to put up like installed like guardrails and stuff to keep children from falling in?
Why would this seems like a waste of money?
It would help me smooth over the plan with my allies though.
All right, sure. I'll program her to consider some safety.
Guys, this partnership is doing so much good in the world.
All right. I guess to answer the original question, sure. I have no problems with ending this dungeon.
All right. Anyone opposed?
Nope.
Okay.
Unopposed.
As you end this arc of the campaign, you hit a milestone, and you get to level 10. You feel the surge of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey magic. You have 7 days of downtime to do the sort of things a normal campaign would do with that downtime. Also, displeased with the final results, but still happy to be alive. Gloriana Button hands over to the party these 3 mutagens that she had with her that she was going to drink all of them at once if she had to fight to defend herself. And they are a greater Drakeheart mutagen, a lesser Stone Body mutagen, and a where is it? Oh, a Fury Cocktail.
Where do you get these from?
Okay.
I mean, you live in Alkenstar, you just buy them.
Yeah.
You just
At like a corner store.
yeah. I think you could just buy Fury cocktails at a bar. Like, it's a fortifying ginger beer spiked with rum and a mixer.
Which level is the Theory cocktail?
It is 4. It's only level 4. I actually
That
put
would
him in
be
the.
a lesser? Oh.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
put him in the party thing?
Yeah, I put him in the party loot already.
Okay.
There you go. I'm not seeing the Drake one. I thought I
just
dragged
sort
it.
of picked it up.
Oh, you
I was
immediately
like,
snatched
that
it up. I
sounds
see. I see.
juicy.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Also, if you consider Parsus to be a trusted ally, he is willing to spend 1 day of your 7 days of meta downtime teaching you the secrets of his exclusive archetype that he invented. That you do have the notes for, but you would not have time to do it. Well, I guess maybe you could try to do it with your downtime. So he could do it in 1 day. You could spend the whole week trying to learn it, and then you have to do a check at the end of the week. If no one's interested in learning how to be a Clockwork necromancer, I completely understand. So
Hold on
I
there.
suppose. It would be like remembering my past.
I ask him, what kind of checks am I making? Are they occult or are they crafting?
Oh, I mean, there's no checks. He's just going to teach you. If you try to do it on your own, then yeah, it's going to be occult and arcana and crafting to learn it on your own. Just trying to find where it is. There we go. It's called the Clockwork Reanimator. You have unlocked the secret connections between necromancy and clockwork locomotion, giving you the unholy power to reanimate corpses. These minions shuffle forth with the mindless motions of the unliving and are little more than puppets under your control. Similarly, via careful tinkering and anatomical study, you learn how to make a powerful necromechanical ally. Finally, your technological prowess is such that you can use your innovations to force even powerful free-willed undead to obey you. The secret to your success is a combination of alchemy and clockwork, machines and magic, science and spellcasting. Of course, crafting the shell of a wind-up zombie is one matter. Your primary focus on the craftwork necessary to make the whole thing work together. To you, the magic involved is only a means to the end, a way to make science more efficient through necromancy, and potentially a little bit of evocation for some electrical power. While some think your creations are vile, you see beauty and utility and believe animated corpses are tools that can be used for good or ill. He does let it slip during this 1-day seminar, which I guess in the game is a 1-hour seminar, that his intention is to monopolize and monetize his Clockwork Reanimator technique to enhance the city. He wants to let families sign up for a program that if you die, he'll animate your body, and then a portion of the money you earn as a clockwork animation will go towards your family or any outstanding debts you left behind.
Oh, how generous.
Mm-hmm. A portion, obviously. Like, there's operating costs and things like that. But, I mean, you're already dead, so think about it. Who knows how long your animated body can keep working after death? You could generate a fortune for your children, or maybe donate it to a cause you care about. Yeah, he's really into it.
There was a conversation that was going on earlier this week in Discord about doing good things for evil reasons or evil things for good reasons.
This guy has definitely found his home in Alkenstar, though, for sure. Your reanimated clockwork corpses are stable, effective, and more importantly, they don't rampage or crave the flesh of the living in the same way an undead would. In the same way. They aren't vulnerable to positive energy, as you guys found out when you were fighting them, making them easier to use around good clerics, like you! Like Ketrin, like you! And they're ilk without your minions taking friendly fire. Except for Rasmins, always so inconveniently up in arms about the whole desecrating the bodies of the dead thing. Can't they learn the difference between the stench of undeath and the smell of progress? I'm going to be honest. It's considered a pretty badass thing, and it's technically only available to people who play this campaign and choose the peaceful ending to this adventure of him, or find and decode his notes. So it doesn't really help you too much, but I would say that if you did want to take it, if you wanted to do some like respecking of like earlier archetype feats for it, I would allow that as part of taking it. So yeah.
Ooh, that brings up a question. When we level up, we're able to respec one of our feats?
Right, it takes a week to do a respec, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna respec.
But I think I had said that at level 5 and at level 10 I was gonna let you guys do a respec if you needed to. So I guess you could just do it. Yeah, I mean if you're like, I've made some bad choices here, you certainly can. Just kind of
not gonna be a full respec. It was that one ability that I picked up at 9. I'm just like, now that I look at it, probably not really gonna be useful, so I'm just gonna pick something else. So that'll be that for that respec.
Okay, and then I'll go ahead and throw this into player resources on the Discord. The link to the
You know what's kind of funny? You said at the start we should consider an RP session after those balls.
Well,
Yes,
I
we
was
did.
like, I saw you guys like, you're like, yeah, we're going downstairs, and I was like, all right, cowabunga it is, let's go. And then you guys were like, wait, there's one last door, and I was like, maybe. I will say that this was definitely a death trap dungeon. Like, this was a rough. It got worse the deeper
I'm
you went.
certain it is awful. 2 more levels of that.
Yeah, it was.
You only had 2 death fights, basically.
I have to say, I think this is one of the finest dungeons I've ever seen. Like, I think it's thematic. It's got like verticality. It's got like a very unique like theme. Could it have had more like substance, like bathrooms, things like that, things to make it feel like a more authentic like power plant kind of thing? Yeah, but like I do think it was a really good dungeon, and I am a little sad that you guys missed out on the bottom 2 floors because they were redonkulous, but that's okay. Like the guys made of pollution that inflate corpses as balloons. Like, I mean, it's some wild stuff down there. Some wild stuff. All right. I guess it would also be during the TED Talk that Parsus would probably want to give the TED Talk in person. So he would, I guess, come up to this floor to do it because the other two. Yeah, the other 2 floors are too dangerous. So.
One is infested by water and crocodiles and big crocodiles.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, he would show up. You guys wouldn't be able to understand him, of course, with his mask on because it's very like Dark Knight Bane situation. So eventually, he would reveal his hideous face to everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
All growing up,
right.
his father told him what a hideous wretch he was. So he started wearing the mask. But it does occur to him that he could go with you on this mission and just not wear his mask, and then Loveless and Ebrium, they've never seen him without his mask. They wouldn't know who he was.
They wouldn't notice the like pointy teeth and the familial similarity, which I think is entirely accidental. I mean, if he wanted to be an ass necromancer ally on this mission, I think we'd all be happy for that.
She is not happy. Gloria Button is terrified of him.
Gloria Button, why are you still here?
No one's taken her home yet. Do you want the B team to take? You want the B team to take her home?
Probably for the best.
Oh, Parsus says, wait, hold on. I need you to understand, Miss Button, that if you tell anyone what happened here, it will be the last thing you ever do.
Oh, he would spare you undead. That's so nice. But you should probably listen to that. I don't want conflict to arise in this partnership.
Okay. Gloria Button looks at all of you in disbelief, but she's had too many plot bombs dropped on her after a week of horror survival, so she just sort of stumbles towards the boat, and the B team says they'll be back after they drop her off.
We can get out of here. It's been hours and no wild searches. This is an awful place.
So we'll see you there, Parsus.
Okay.
And yeah, the party would definitely be able to tell that these two grew up in like the same household, and Zen has a completely different accent to him. Remembers to have it. I don't think she's entirely sane either in that regard.
I don't think anybody, based on what I know of the particular bloodlord that you guys were sired by, like, I don't see how that would be possible. You know, got some real Cazador energy down there in the south, so. All right, so the ball is in your guys' court. You have like 30-ish minutes left on the clock. You do need to figure out how you're going to approach the ship, what you're going to do once you get on the ship, what your plans are, your backup plans. Again, it's 4 floors. There are 2 loading bays on the bottom floor. We'll call it the cargo floor. They can be opened. They are at a height that the buoyancy and everything of the ship, they could be opened without water spilling in, but they're generally not, right? Because that would not be good for the boat. But this is a flat, it's like a flat bottom, ferry boat situation. So technically, the cargo doors on the bottom floor of the boat could be opened if needed. There's a big ass water wheel on the back of the boat. You could, if you're swimming up, try to grab onto the water wheel and like ride it up to a height that would allow you to jump onto the ship. Yeah. I guess I could just draw. There we go. So if this is the bottom of the boat, this little thing I just drew right here, the paddle is this little guy on the back here. Then you've got another floor, and that's the passenger area. Then there's an open deck, and then there's a covered area, and that's where like the VIP, I guess not the VIP, but the more important passengers go. And then there's stairs that lead up to like an elevated floor that only takes up the front half of the boat, and that is where the captain's quarters, the ultra VIP area, and then the bridge, right, where that's what they call it, the front of the boat where you are in charge of the boat. It's the bridge, I think, is located there. So I don't know if those random lines mean anything now that I drew them all out like that, but
I get it.
Yeah. That's the general gist. There are windows all along the passengers floor and the first class and the VIP. There are no windows along the cargo floor.
The doors sound like the best way in, then we can search the ship from the bottom up.
Yeah, so you would have to approach the ship, get to one of the cargo doors without being noticed by the patrols, because there are going to be patrols on every floor, and there's going to be patrols on the open mid deck here that can kind of look out and see things that are coming. And then from the bridge, they're going to be able to look out and see things that are coming. They also have some Clockwork spies. So those little flying soccer balls that you guys have dealt with throughout the campaign. And those are flying around the ship, perching on it like little seagulls, keeping an eye out on things. This level of security is not suspicious at all to the passengers because the river is full of mutated horrors. And there are river pirates. So it's not that unusual.
Hey.
What might be considered unusual is that actual Alkenstar shield marshals have replaced the normal private security that is normally used by the ship. Some people on the boat might be like a little suspicious of that. But that's the only weird thing. If it wasn't, them, they would have private security. So,
hey Parsus, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Just this is an underwater facility. There's just no way that there's like an underwater submersible device somewhere stashed away in this place. Or that you just do maintenance on it.
An underwater submersible. No.
I know I'm grasping at straws, but just
no. That'd be pretty cool though. Yeah.
I hate to bring this up, but
there's a lantern you could buy that turns into a submarine for an hour. But
it's like 20,000 gold, isn't it?
I don't know. I've just heard about it. I mean, I'm thinking of all the submarine stuff I know. I mean, if you can hold your breath, my crocodiles could sort of be like a submarine. They can go under the water. I mean, you are going to have to make, precautions against the pollutants and the mutations that might take place. Or not. You can just lean into it.
Bella collapses syllables as she says, I do not want to touch the water.
See? Look at these cuties. Look at this. Yeah, I actually have two. I found one eating another one. I guess they had gotten in a fight, and then it choked on the other one, and then they were both dead, and I was like, well, I mean, might as well. Waste not. They used to have skin, but my zombie piranhas ate it all. So.
Alright, so are there any...
When you have an aquarium, you need to be careful what you put in the aquarium, because not everything gets along.
Would the hazmat suits that are located in the barracks here protect us from the water?
Ooh, probably.
Okay. That's my contribution.
Not that I want to continue this, but I had heard Stack mention Mr. Fluffbottom. Is there at any point the ship makes landfall to where people get on and off?
Yes, the last place that the ship was scheduled to stop was Martel. But I think they've already left Martel by now.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, we roll up on there, people start seeing us, and get hot real fast. If we are disguised, that at least gives us a brief window.
It's got like shield one.
Or if they just randomly see something passing on board, it's going to be a bit weird.
By the time we reach the passenger crew, I think the jig is up, or at least the VIPs. We're just going to have to be expedient. Half the team is going to have to be like working on fighting people, while the other half looks for bombs and disarms them.
Well, we don't actually need to rush to disarm the bombs as long as we find...
Oh, right. We got to find the focus.
We just need to find him.
We're going to...
Once we've done that, then we have all the time in the world to disarm the bombs, because the bombs are useless until it's at its destination.
Right. So we're all going to
I mean,
well, we don't have
they could
all
still murder.
That
I'm
seems
not
like
a fan of murder.
That seems like a pretty optimistic stance to take, sister, because you're kind of implying that you're gonna find them, and then you're gonna defeat a powerful Nexian wizard, possibly his Medusa girlfriend, and a 100-plus-year-old badass gunslinging anti-paladin, quickly enough that neither of them is going to be able to activate their contingencies. And that's assuming, of course, you found them without causing a commotion that would have informed them ahead of time to your presence. I'm not trying to say it's a bad idea.
If we don't manage that, then we're dead anyway, so why bother thinking about that option?
Well, it's called a redundancy plan. You need to have a backup plan. You can't just have one plan in life.
So our backup plan.
He stares at you, Zenny, hopeful that maybe in the time that you guys have been separated, you have come to learn that you can't just rely on one plan.
I have a backup plan.
Does he get anything back from you?
No.
Damn.
Bella will cut in and be like, listen, I have a plan if we can't pull this off. She pulls out a Pyronite charge and she says, we can set this as we get on the boat, and then it can, as a, backup, blow up, hopefully, before they can get it to Alkenstar.
Bella, you know that any fire damage, and possibly, depending on how they built their bombs, too much jostling could set off these bombs. So your bomb would blow up another bomb, which would blow up another bomb, another bomb, another bomb, another bomb. Like, that would be it.
Yeah. But
okay,
it would keep
so
it from getting backup.
I guess I should ask you before we enter the holiday season. Do you guys just want to say that you rode on your crocodile, threw a Pyronite bomb onto the boat, killed everyone on the boat, and then we roll credits?
No, I'm good.
No, okay. Okay. I didn't know if you wanted to make that the ending, because that definitely could be the ending of the campaign.
On the stolen fates. Let's go.
What stolen thing? Well, actually, you know what? The players are making stolen fates.
You guys immediately hop into Discord chat and you're like,
you guys are still playing, losers. Oh my god. We finished the final dungeon in literally 5 minutes.
Save Gideon, Bella.
Yeah, but like, who else?
I don't know, that dwarf, I guess.
Like
I'm not too
me?
first, but apparently they're important.
So here's my plan. I make all bottled rocks, and I just throw bottled rocks down, and they keep pulling people off the boat, and then we blow it up.
How far can the bottled rocks take people, i.e. can it take them to shore?
There are over 100 people on the boat.
Yeah, but which ones are important?
Damn. You get Alkenstar inspiration. Just kidding.
I'm joking, obviously, but
are you though? It's okay if you're not. It's good. It's called. It's good. It's good role playing as a person from Alkenstar if you're not joking.
I mean, my old character is seeping through right now a little bit.
Some of that.
Some
of that Benoit heritage is coming through.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can get to dying 3, wounded 3 before you start getting a bit pragmatic.
True. Do we feel like we have a plan? Hazmat suits, stealthy approach, go in the bottom floor. Or do we want to come up with something else? It'd be cool to airdrop in.
The bottom floor we would be coming in through. Would that be the workers' quarters? Would we be able
let's see.
We can quickly grab ourselves some workers' gear, make it look like we're part of the ship.
We can look like the guards, though. We know what the guards are going to be wearing.
From what you understand, both of them would be a cargo hold. It's just two different cargo holds. Yeah. And these are cargo holds that are designed for like big cargo. There is another cargo hold that has, I guess, smaller stuff. Oh, okay. Actually, there are three different cargo bays that you could enter from.
So, if not the ship workers, field marshals could work too. Just have to make sure that we don't get spotted by Loveless, because she would probably make us out real fast. The others could take a little bit before they catch on.
Yeah. There is also a fourth option for the cargo floor, is you could try to get into the engine room through the water wheel.
That sounds bad.
You really want us to go through turbine?
I'm just saying. I'm just reading. Like, remember this place. First of all, the mad lads that made the maps for this adventure, they were not qualified engineers in any way, shape, or form, nor were they qualified architects, because these things are a fucking mess. But the second thing is, where am I going with this? The second thing is, like, yeah, like there's no safety standards in Alkenstar, so apparently, like, they use the water from the water wheel splashing to, like, cool down the engines. So, like, you can get in essentially through the water wheel. Yep.
All right. Last suggestion. I make a bunch of bald rocks, and we just, like, 3 bald rocks will get all 6 of us onto the boat. We could go right to the top floor, where they might actually be, and then we get to jump on them.
Well, if they're in the middle of the river, and the river is significantly wide, like a real river, not like a D&D map river, which is called a stream, you would still need to get close enough via water travel or air travel for the rocks to transport you, right? Because they're like a one and done, 90-foot force or assisted teleport, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, 180 feet for a river is pretty wide. I don't know how wide it is. I bet you I could roll an Alkenstar lore / Mana Waste lore and tell you.
Ooh, yeah, sure.
What's the widest point of the river? Tell me.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna need to look that up. Hold on. Do you guys want to go back to your dashboard so you can see the map of the city? Okay.
Let's get out of this place. It smells.
Okay. Dang.
Lots of rotting core.
All right, so we got this map in the bottom corner. Let's see. 500 feet is the little measuring tool right there. Eyeballing the river. It looks like the narrowest point, at least illustrated on this map, would be about 250 feet. And then the widest point illustrated on this map does look to be about 500 feet. So you would assume, I guess, during the course of the river's journey, like through the region or whatever, that it would be in that range. You know what I'm saying? Maybe wider, maybe narrower. I feel like for trade purposes, though, they do have the technology. I feel like they would maybe widen the river in some spots if it was too narrow. Because if you're using a waterway for trade, you don't want it to get, like, blockaded or blocked up, or you don't want it to be an easy spot for pirates and stuff like that. So in that case, yeah, I think you would still need some way to get closer to them.
All right, that's all my ideas. Anyone else is welcome.
Well, so my point was that we know the guards have been replaced by Loveless's shield marshals. So we know what they'll be wearing. We could disguise as shield marshals.
Truth.
Yeah, and that's probably better. But again, we have to make sure that we stay away from Loveless, because she could make us out real quick.
Plus, no offense, Ghost Catrin.
Oh, for God's sake! Can we not?
I'm still in my armor. I'm Iron Man, Ketron.
We just put like a badge on the armor.
But didn't you have to make?
I'll just be your brainless golem assistant.
Does the armor have to be made ghostly though for you to benefit from it? So
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's like a ghostly. I mean, I love the idea of it being like regular armor and you're a ghost inside, like that one anime where the guy, you know, his brother.
Does it actually become ghostly armor, or does it just become imbued with the ability for you to touch it? Like, is it still.
I think that creates a situation, right, where like if you wanted to benefit from being ghostly, but now you've bound yourself to physical armor, now you lose out on a lot of that ghostly properties that you had before.
Okay. Well, I did finally just take the feat that lets me move through walls and doors, so maybe I don't want to do that.
I think given this is the last bit of the campaign, it would be kind of cool if you had the ability to like leave the armor, but then you'd be unarmored, like a little snail leaving its shell. But I feel like that feat could be like a really cool way to have you like piloting the armor, but then you like leave the armor to go in your ghost form, but then you are like in your ghost undies essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could do that. I could do that.
That'd be kind of cool. It's up to you. I think raw.
No, I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think raw. The armor is now ghost material also. But I'm willing to say that you're piloting this armor, and then because of your feet, you have the option now to leave the armor as a ghost, essentially. Which could be pretty useful when you're trying to explore 4 floors of a big ass ship. So. Okay. There is the issue of the river. You guys are going to be wearing hazmat suits over your cowboy, your shield marshal disguises, or under your shield marshal disguises?
On the boat.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I mean, it sounds very action movie.
This is very. God, I can't remember which James Bond movie it is, but essentially, yeah, he's taking the submersible to get onto the.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I love that. You get. Okay, so let me see if I can understand the plan so far. You guys put on your shield marshal disguises that you're going to purchase, and whether or not you purchase expensive ones that give you a bonus, or you just do the cheaper ones. Disguise kits are good because they automatically succeed unless people feel like bothering to see if you're not who you say you are. Just like in real life, right? You see a guy dressed like a police officer, you're like, that's a police officer, right? Like at no point are you like, that's not a police officer. You know, but if you had a reason to believe that they might be a police officer, like they're a ghost or something, then you'd be like, oh, wait a minute. So, okay, that's fine. Over these disguises, you're going to wear the chemical hazmat suits from B1 of the Tin Moon Hydra Forge. You're going to take the skeletal crocodiles, use them as submersibles. You're going to swim below the surface of the river, so underwater in the Alkenstar River, holding on to or being held by skeletal crocodiles. Then when you reach the side of the ship, with the doors, the crocodile is going to surface. You're going to get the doors open somehow, because they are going to be sealed from the inside. Because, you know, they want to keep things watertight if possible. Once you're somehow past the doors that are sealed from the inside watertight, you're going to unzip dramatically, like in an action movie, your scuba suits, which are the hazmat suits, and then you're going to be dressed like police officers. And then you're going to begin exploring the ship. The goal is to find and neutralize Ebrium and Loveless before they have a chance to activate their contingencies. Or is the plan to find and disable the bombs without being discovered?
At that point, we could split up and see if we can find either the bombs or the teleport routes and disable those. That's another option, but yeah, finding Ebrium or Loveless. So I guess really, once we have to make it on board before we probably decide. But yeah, there's four things that we could split off to do once we're on board. Loveless.
Now, what is your strat for getting the cargo bay doors open? Because this isn't just going to be like a thieves' tools thing. Because these are
I could try and pass through them as a ghost, and then
and then
and
open them from the
yeah.
inside. Oh, spicy. Okay. All right. So
Might be able to help, but they'll be
Is
like
it-
completely sealed, right?
Yeah, there's supposed to be water
Not enough
rights.
for letting mist to get through.
Well, the idea is that if there was bad weather, they wouldn't want water to get in these
Yeah,
doors. So
yeah.
when they're yeah.
Ghost catching doing a thing.
All right, so here is the boat again. There we go. And this is where the water wheel is. All right. So there is a door here, and let me double check one more time where that third door is. Let's see. Okay. And the third one is here. Okay. So the back half of the boat has the best surveillance. So pretty much from that line back that way, there's an open deck. And so there's going to be people constantly looking out. I mean, you're going to be noticed probably. From the front of the boat, they wouldn't be able to see things that are right next to the boat. So either of these remaining entrances would be easier to get into. So I guess the question is, which of these two entrances would you want to swim up to sort of put Ghost Catcher through the door? Which is extremely hype, by the way. Like, it's very cool. Like, do you have a preference, or like one of them would guarantee that you are at the very front of the boat, and then you could work your way back. One of them would put you in the very middle of the boat.
The front one.
Yeah, probably the front one.
Okay. All right.
Like in Sea of Thieves, you start at the front of the boat, and then you find your place.
Beautiful. Okay, so the plan then is to swim up to these doors. Ketchum's going to go inside, open the doors from the inside, get you guys on board, hopefully without arousing any alarms or suspicion. Okay. I mean, works for me. We have 5 minutes left in the session. Do you guys want to hash out your stuff, or do you want me to just bring you over there and... Man, you ready? I feel like you got downtime stuff. Maybe you still need to do.
I would definitely
I have
need
a couple
to like make
level
all
up
my
questions
craftables
too.
Okay, yeah. What's your level up question?
First, this is a rare feat. Can I have it?
What is the rare feat? You posting it in chat?
There it is. Yeah, I just did it.
All right,
Paragon
Battle Medicine. Cass Aziril taught you her techniques that originated the modern use of medicine. When you successfully use Battle Medicine, blah blah. If you're legendary in medicine, okay.
I am not legendary and will not get to be. So really, it's just the first part.
Oh, are you just trying to help with sick and clumsy, blah blah blah? Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like, given that I have homebrewed the campaign to honor the actual lore of the campaign setting and not be a coward like the writers of the adventure, and sort of crippled your use of magic and magical healing, absolutely. I feel like the people of Alkenstar would have developed these techniques as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll add that. I had one more, just because it's going to come up. Let's see. So this is my class feat that I just took Shield of Reckoning. Is it so I can shield block to guard an ally and reduce their damage, and then I can champion's reaction? Will that reduce their damage again, or does that just mean I can attack?
Let's see. Once per round, an enemy's attack against an ally matches the trigger for both your shield block reaction and champion. When you shield your ally against an attack, you can call upon the power to protect your ally further. Use shield block. So, shield block is the shield is taking some of that damage.
Yeah.
Right? And then your champion thing is reducing the damage. So you would reduce the damage, and then you would apply it to the person in the shield after reducing it.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
So I would basically
really,
reduce
really
damage
good.
twice. Okay,
yeah, that's
super.
That's super good. Your shield appreciates this ability. Like,
yes.
Your shield is like, I love this ability. This is great.
All right. Any other questions? Level up questions? Strategy
looking at-
questions?
I'm looking at level up questions, but
We can earn income during this time, right?
Yeah, you have 7 days, so you can set aside however many days you need to deal with runes. If you are spending it on a respec, because it's level 10, I'll just let you guys respec for free, and you can still have your 7 days to do other stuff.
Okay, and then what's the level for income that we can do? Up to 10?
Here in Alkenstar, any job can be up to 10, but you can do any job that would be related to Alkenstar stuff, so like crafting and alchemy and things like that. You can do that up to level 13 if you wanted to.
Would thievery be one of those?
Thievery? I mean, it is one of the largest cities in the world, I guess. You robbing people? Is that what your downtime is? Are you a criminal now? Oh man.
Oh,
okay.
Now I'm a criminal.
Are you doing locksmith work and you're not asking any questions about it?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, okay. This guy's like, this is my mom's house. Thanks for unlocking it. She lost her keys.
Don't mind me. I'm just taking a mental image of your face for later. AKA,
Nah, he's got a ski mask on, like, because his mom has a cold, so he's trying to like block the germs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a good thing I am.
All right, yeah, that's fine. All right, thievery works.
All right, I'll spend a hero point on this because we don't.
Trying to justify it.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, you still made money. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this is just pocket money that you had, that you forgot about, essentially, because of the way we're doing downtime. So you didn't actually go out and help somebody rob a house, but it's just money from your past. All right. Stack, you had a level up question?
Yeah, I'm looking at. How does this work? I'm looking at Into the Future. And it says, if your next action is to cast a spell, it takes 1 or 2 actions to cast. And I'm wondering if, since the spell strike ability has the you cast a spell, if that works.
Okay. So spell that will be all right. Your spell will be needed not now, but in a few moments. So you cast your magic into the future. If your next action is to cast a spell that takes only 1 or 2 actions to cast, this is also a 1 action thing to do.
Right.
The spell's effect occurs 1 round later at the beginning of your next turn rather than immediately. Targets and choices about the spell must be determined when the spell is cast, and requirements such as line of sight, line of effect must be valid both when the spell is cast and when the effects occur. Consequences for the action of casting the spell, such as attack of opportunity, reaction, or ending a foe's fascinating condition by taking a hostile action, are not delayed. I mean, it's Magic the Gathering, bro. It literally says what it does. So
no, I understand that part. Yeah, I was saying
okay,
that.
so what part is not clear?
Oh, so when you use spell strike, it says like you cast a spell, and so I didn't know that if like the seated casting a spell, quote unquote, casting a spell would work with this.
So spell strike, you channel a spell. It would not work with this because this is a spellcasting modifier, and Into the Future is a spellcasting modifier.
Okay.
So you have to choose which one you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's if your next action is to cast a spell, but your next action isn't to cast a spell, your next action is to use spell strike, which is something different.
Right, and same thing with Into the Future, right? So your next action, you're trying to make it spell strike, which isn't a spell; it's an ability. So they're not. Yeah, they don't work together.
Okay.
All right.
Do we have 50 gold in our party fund?
Oh, also, can I have one of the shock runes?
One of the shock runes?
There's one in the party stash, yeah.
Anybody else had their eye on that?
Nope, I got mine. I think Zenny got the other one from earlier.
Mhm.
So there's a third
Okay.
one. That's for you.
Were there 3 shock runes in that dungeon?
I think
No,
we
there
had one
was
from
2.
before.
We
Oh,
purchased
okay.
one
Two, but-
at the Gunworks.
Okay,
Mhm.
so real talk, the other group did not find either of those shock runes.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But
They
I
also didn't
assume
find the
that they-
overalls too. So what did they do in that dungeon?
Well, I will say this: the other group did find the submersible. Yeah. So it's just different. You guys took slightly different paths through the adventure. It's
I
okay.
knew it.
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking if we have 50 gold is there's an item called a golden silencer. We have met the golden gunners. Would I be able to
Yeah. As
one
long
of
as you
those?
don't go asking around about their recent acquisition of some pyronite payloads, they would definitely still consider you guys to be friendly and sell you those, even though they are uncommon.
I have no problem with that. They also
Uh-huh.
have Philomena, so I was gonna talk with them a little bit later about her, but yeah. I mean, we have that connection. So do we have?
But they
50 gold?
definitely aren't willing to give you a discount, though. But they are willing to sell them to you.
That's fair.
How many shots does the golden silencer get you? The standard.
It doesn't.
Oh, wow.
The golden gunners are dreaded for their use of golden silencers, which they put on clandestine raids. They silence both. Well, actually, hold on. It does say it is a talisman, which I guess. Is
Oh.
assumed. Never mind.
Yeah, they silence both the loud gunshot and the screams of creatures. This is why it's so good. The screams of the creatures wounded by the shot.
Yeah.
A weapon with a golden silencer emits no light, makes no noise when fired. A target hit by a ranged strike must do a DC 24. That's not too hard to pass.
Yeah.
Or be silenced as well until started next turn. Silence creature can't call for help or use sonic abilities. Nor can it use abilities with the auditory trait. I almost feel like shutting down something sonic abilities is even more important than anything else. Now, yeah, it's such a risky item because like for something like the Clockwork spies that you guys know are very low level compared to you guys, yeah, you could take them out. So it'd be perfect for something like that, for taking out like a Clockwork spy or, you know, a scared commoner who's like, I'm gonna tell everyone you're here. Like, sure, like for meaningfully tough bad guys, you're praying for like a huge gun crit on that.
Yeah.
Though technically, if they failed the fort save, everyone else could dogpile them, and you could try to take out a sentry. So it's good, but it just doesn't feel reliable enough.
Yeah, the greater
I think the
one
problem is
has a higher DC.
Yeah,
but it's also
the
I think,
the
a much higher item.
the greater one is it's level 10, and it's you would be able to buy it
Right.
because of your connections to the gold. Yeah, to the golden gunners. It is 200 gold, but it is a DC 27 fortitude, and they are silenced for a minute. So that would take a single target out of, you know, like the possibly warning everyone else on the boat that you're there. So that could be pretty good. They do get a lingering save though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some regular
Still,
silencers, but they take a minute to attach. So they don't really get much.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That golden silencer greater. 200 gold though. All right. We are technically at time. You have time between now and next session to wibbly wobbly timey wimey yourself. Let's see. Zenny / Josh, you said you're going to be out next week.
Mhm.
I feel that it would be impossible, for there to be a complete resolution of the campaign in the next session. I do feel like it'd be impossible. So I think we'll go ahead and run. Then Katrin Scarlet, you're saying that you're out on the 14th, not the 7th.
No, I'm out on the 7th. I am here the 14th. I am
You
out
are
the
here.
21st. Yes,
The
I am here the
21st and the 4th.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No. So I'm
Okay.
out the 7th. I am
Uh-huh.
present the 14th. I am out
Uh-huh.
the 21st.
Damn.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's super rough. Wow. Man, I don't even know what we're supposed to do.
I guess we just stop playing until January.
Wait. Actually, hang on.
What?
Let me.
Okay.
I said I would be out the 21st because we're traveling, but I actually don't offhand know what time our plane leaves. It's possible that it's afternoon.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find out. Anyway, you can move on, and I will.
I'm okay with us leaving off right before the final dungeon, and then just resume in the year 2025, and I now push back my Stolen Fates game. I mean, I'm okay with it, but nobody stressing trying to make it to the session or whatever. But that's something we could, I guess, talk about as a group. Like, I'll just suspend all the subs or whatever until we resume. That would take a lot of pressure off of everybody through December for all the holiday stuff, but I don't know. Everybody should think about it, I guess. Everybody should think about it.
Sounded like there were a couple of times that it did work, though, right?
So, if you're not here next week, Scarlett's not here on the 7th, by that point, I think that any session after... Starting on the 7th, I think any session could be the last session. I think that next week you're going to be like getting situated on the boat, trying to get on board, trying not to get caught, try to get your bearings, exploring. I think it's a big enough boat, especially if you're starting at the bottom, that you're not going to really do anything too meaningful. But I do think that from that point on, depending on where you go and what happens, it could take 5 sessions, it could take 1 session, depending on how you explore the boat, because it's a boat, right? It's not a dungeon, so there's not like a very fixed way that you have to go through it. You can kind of do whatever you need to do.
Okay, never mind. I'm not gone on the 21st. We are leaving afternoon. We will have plenty of time.
All right. All right. I think then we should be good. All right. We'll play next week. We'll see where things are at the end of the session. If it still feels like there's no chance of you guys finishing the adventure, we'll play on the 7th, and then we should be good the rest of the month. All right.
Sounds good. Hope everybody has a good Saturday.
Good weekend. Think about your last minute wibbly wobbly downtime purchases and level ups and all that, and then we'll start next session like ready to go, I think. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye.
Thanks for running, and thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.